Hello, everyone. This is Alejandra from the SystemeIO team. I'm very happy to have you here and that you decided to be a part of our certification program. I'll be your host throughout this program where you'll learn the skills needed to become certified in our platform and enjoy all the benefits from it. So let's take a quick look at the curriculum and go over what you'll be learning. We've divided the training modules for this certification into tabs, which will make things easier as each one of them is a tab that you'll actually find right here within your System.io account. Our first section will cover our dashboard and contacts tab. So here you're going to learn the ins and outs of our main dashboard, our affiliate dashboard, as well as the power of our marketplace, and all about organizing your contacts and using tags. Next, we have the funnels tab. Here you'll learn how to create a funnel to collect leads, how to use our editors and its elements, plus the tools available on each funnel step, like automations and A/B testing. You'll also learn how to create a sales funnel that includes upsells, downsells, and last but not least, we'll show you how to create and use a webinar funnel. Moving on to the emails tab, we'll teach you about the types of emails that you can send with System.io and how to edit them with our two email editors. You'll also learn how to send newsletters and create campaigns. We'll go through the blogs tab, of course, where you'll learn about our blog features, our layouts, our pages, plus we'll explain how to create your blog posts. For the automation tab, we'll show you how to create automation rules, explain triggers, actions, and show you how to use workflows. And then we'll move on to the product and sales tab, which is this one right here, where you'll learn about selling physical products, creating coupons, managing your transactions, your subscriptions, generating affiliate invoices, creating online courses, and of course, bundle them together with the course bundle feature, and also following up with students through our communities feature. Last but not least, we're going to the settings tab, which is right here. This tab is all about account management and profile customization, so you can run your business on your own terms. To ensure you understand the material, you'll be taking a quiz after each section. This is super important because this will help you retain the information and prepare you for the final assessment, which is the one that determines if you become System.io certified. So don't worry, because your grade for each individual section will not affect your certification journey. So without further ado, let's get started. Hello, everyone. This section is all about dashboards. So we're going to go over the main dashboard and also your affiliate dashboard. So the dashboard is the first page that users see when they open a new System.io account. You can see the number of new leads right here. And also you can see the amount of sales that the person's made in the past 30 days. So by default it's 30 days, but it can be changed right here. You could select 30 days, this month, past 3 months, but you can also set a specific time period if you select it here in the calendar. So to your right, you're going to find the section that's called Live Updates. Here, you're going to see any action made by your contacts and your customers. For instance, you can see an action when a contact subscribes using one of your funnels or your squeeze pages or any pages that you create within your System.io account. And also you can see any new sales right here. You'll be able to see right here when someone orders something or buys something from your funnels. Now, if we head over to the menu right here, under the main dashboard, you're going to see your affiliate dashboard. So let's click here. But before we go through each section of the affiliate dashboard, you need to know that System.io has an affiliate program. This means that affiliates can actually promote System.io's offers, and they can earn a commission if their clients buy an offer from System.io. So let's say an annual plan or a monthly plan or a course or really any page that you decide to promote as an affiliate. This is an amazing program, and if you're a user, then you know how powerful System.io is. So recommending it to others once you're already familiar with the platform is amazing, and you can earn a commission on it. So that's even better. But adding into this, System.io users can have their own affiliate programs within the platform. So people can actually promote offers that other System.io users create. So let's say they create courses or digital products or physical products. If you find something within the System.io marketplace that you like and that you feel you're able to promote and recommend and sell to other people, then you can have your own affiliate program within the platform. So as an affiliate, you're going to want to use your dashboard just to keep an eye on your statistics, to see how much you've earned, to manage your affiliate links, and just to keep an eye on your activity. So the first thing that you're going to find right here is your affiliate ID, which is the most important information that you'll find right here in the top. You're going to use your affiliate ID every time you want to promote an offer. So let's say I want to promote System.io and I want to promote it through their homepage. So I would just go to the page and copy the link. And then this is just an example, but you could do this with any page that you'd like to promote. So then after I have my link right here, I would go to my affiliate dashboard and I would copy my ID just like so. So then you go back to the link you want to promote or the page that you'd like to promote, and then you add a question mark, SA equal, and you go ahead and you paste your ID, your affiliate ID. And so this is the link that you would share to your audience, to your customers, if you'd like to promote System.io through the homepage. So let's say you have a link in bio and you'd like to have a special link for promoting System.io, you would use this link right here. So now all you would need to do is just share the link with other people, and if they subscribe or buy any offers from System.io, then you will get the commission because you're the one who would bring this new clients, this new users to System.io. Now let's go ahead and see what's really inside the affiliate dashboard. So the first thing that you'll see is that you can actually see your data, your statistics by vendor. So let's say I choose System.io. You will be able to see the total leads sent, which means the number of new leads or new contacts I sent to System.io with my affiliate links. You would also be able to see your lifetime earnings. That means the commissions that you earn by referring people to System.io. You will be able to see it day by day, or the past week, or the past 30 days. And also, very conveniently, right here at the bottom, you're going to find the link that I just showed you. So the one that promotes System.io's homepage. That way it's just easier. You don't have to copy and paste anything. It's just right here whenever you want to share it with someone else. So right under the affiliate dashboard, we see the marketplace tab. Let's click on it. So it takes us right here to the marketplace. So as you can see, the marketplace is this virtual space where vendors publish their offers so that affiliates can promote the offers and bring them clients. And on the other hand, affiliates come to the marketplace looking for this kind of offers to promote and to gain commissions from them. So as you can see here, we have the offers tab where you'll find all the offers, but you can also see the categories. So in order to find them easily, if you're looking for info products, services, templates, physical products, whatever you feel you can promote the best, the category section will help you find it easier. You could also search right here in this bar for a specific name. Let's say you already know the vendor or the offer that you're looking for. You could just type it right here in this bar. Or you could just go to the affiliate programs tab where you'll find all the affiliate programs that are being offered right now in the marketplace. So let's go ahead and choose System.io. So when you click on a specific affiliate program, you'll see a bunch of information that's relevant to the program. So here's a little information card about the owner of the offer, in this case, our CEO. You can see other information like the number of affiliates that this specific program has. You can see if the program has automated payments. You can see the minimum payout amount. You can also learn about the commission rate that the program actually pays, and also the commissions earned by this vendor's affiliates. So let's take a look at the offers just to have an example. Let's say you're going through the offers and you would like to promote this course, how to make $100 per day with your email list. You would just click on it, and now you can read information about it. So I can see the commission rate, the amount of money that the affiliate has gained by promoting this offer. You will also see an offer description. It goes a little bit more in depth as to what this offer is actually going to give to the customer. And if you find that this is an interesting offer and that you're going to be able to promote it, and you think your customers, your client, your audience will be excited to buy into this offer, then you would just choose the page that the vendor wants you to promote. So in this case, this offer has an opt-in page and a sales page. These are the pages that you would use to promote this offer because they already have your affiliate ID on it. So let's say I just want to promote this offer sales page. I would just click on promote offer. So it would take me straight to the sales page, and this is the page that I would share to my contacts, to my audience, because the link to this page already has my unique affiliate ID. So this is the one that I would share, and this is the one that would track commissions back to my account. Here we have the contacts tab or contact list. Here you can find all the contacts and new leads that we get in System.io. So if a contact or anyone who uses one of our forms, it could be a form from a funnel or a form that we have in our blogs, they get saved on this list. So the information that you're going to find here is, first of all, the date in which the contact was added to the list. Then we see their email address and the tag the contact has. If you notice here, the email address is actually clickable. So when we click on it, we are redirected to the contact page. And here we can find all the information we have about the contact. First of all, you're going to see the name and the email address. You could also see the contact's affiliate ID, and you could also unsubscribe the contact from any marketing emails if you no longer want to send them any emails in the future. You can see the date and time when the contact was added to the list, and also you can see the page that the contact used to get added to the list. In this example, my contact used a webinar registration page. So if you actually click on the page, you're going to be able to see the editor for the page. So as you can see, the contact used this form in order to subscribe, and then he was added to the list. Another feature that you will find here in the Contacts tab is that you can add a contact manually to the list. So all you need to do is click on the button, Create Contact, and then here you just need to add the information that is required for the contact. So the only necessary and mandatory information that you need to have is the email address. You cannot add a contact without the email address. Then you're just going to fill the rest of the information if you have it. And you can even select the tags that you want your new contacts to have. Tags are really important for your list management within System because they are these segmenting tools that will help you organize your contacts and make your email marketing efforts so much easier. So as you can see with the example, we just choose this one and save. And now our contact is added to the list, as you can see here. Another feature that is really important, especially for new users that might be coming from another platform and want to continue using their own list here in SystemeIO, is the Import Contacts feature. So once you click and import contacts, you're going to find information that's really important to read and understand because we do have certain rules in order to keep the good deliverability for our users. So after reading the rules, the user chooses the file to import. It must be a CSV file. For example, let's choose this file right here. And then after the file is uploaded, you should choose the type of delimiter. It really depends on the file that you have, but it's usually a comma. So for this one, let's use the comma. And then just organize the information accordingly. So the first name goes with the first name, and email goes with the email column, and then you can click import. And that's it. As you can see right here, the list has been imported. In this example, there was just one new contact on the list just for the example. But if you had a bigger list, this would be very convenient because you won't have to add your contacts manually. So as you import your list, you're going to see your contacts here. And you would also be able to see all the contacts that are being added to your list on your main dashboard. All right, so let's say you have a big contact list because that's what we're aiming for, right? So you would want to easily organize and manage your contacts and not have to go one by one, making any changes or analyzing your metrics. And that's what the filters that I have here on the left are for. So I basically can choose any information that's provided by the contact to search with it. For instance, I can choose email and then I would get these options. So identical to, contains, begins with, and a bunch of other options that you could use to search what you're looking for. So let's say we choose contains. You would just have to enter the word or the value that you're looking for. Let's say I want to search for emails that contain the word test. So I would just type the word that I'm looking for, and then it would show me the emails that contain that specific word. So the same thing that you did with the email filter, you could use with the rest of the filters. So the same for first name, if you're looking for someone specifically, or if you just know their last name, their phone number, country, the city, the street address. You can pretty much search all the information that you can get from a contact when they sign up. We also have some special filters, starting with the tag filter. So here what you could do is search the tags that we've created. So I could choose the options tagged with, not tagged with, or no tag at all. This one is really important, especially if you run email campaigns or if you send marketing emails, so you can track where your leads are coming from. Let's say I choose tagged with. And then I would choose the tag that I want my contacts to be tagged with. So let's say I want to see the contacts that are tagged with tag 1. And then it would show me the contacts that have that tag. Then we have the date added filter. So let's turn it on. Let's turn this one off. So with this filter, you would be able to search by date that the contact was added. So you could choose on or after, on or before, or just on a specific date. And then you would just select the date that you want to search for. So maybe you launch a special offer or your TikTok went viral on a specific date and you want to manage those new leads, then you would use this filter. Let's move on to the email activity filter. What this filter will show you is the contacts that haven't opened or clicked your emails since a specific date. So let's say that you started a campaign on December 1st and you want to see how many of your contacts have opened your emails since you started that campaign. You would use this filter for that. This filter is super useful when you want to clean your list. And yes, cleaning the list is something that everyone should do to manage your list, because you really only want active contacts, not contacts that are not really interested in your content. Now let's move on to the contact state filter. If we turn it on, you're going to see the first condition and you'll find all these conditions. So active, unsubscribed, bounce. So if we select active contacts, then it will show me the contacts that are receiving emails from me. We can also see the contacts who have unsubscribed from my list, so they don't want to continue receiving emails from me. And right here underneath unsubscribed, you're going to find bounce contacts. So the bounce contacts are contacts who cannot receive emails from me for some reason. There are several reasons why this might happen. Maybe the email address is invalid, so it doesn't really exist, or maybe their mailbox is full, or there are some other technical reasons. Anyway, the contact cannot receive emails from you if they bounce. So this filter right here, or this condition within this filter, is really useful or helpful when you want to, again, clean the list, because there's really no point in keeping bounce contacts and unsubscribed contacts. And it's better to remove these contacts from the list in order to keep good deliverability of your emails. Then we have these two conditions right here that are related to payments. This is such a great filter to use to measure the conversion rate for your list, because it will show you the contacts who have already purchased your offers, which means they've used one of my order forms or they paid for one or more of my offers that I'm selling within system. And on the other hand, we can see the contacts who have not bought anything yet. Again, this is useful to analyze campaigns and maybe nurture these leads who haven't made a purchase yet. And then at the bottom right here, we have the last filter, which is referred by affiliate. And this filter is for searching contacts that were added to our list by an affiliate. So here we can search with the affiliate ID of the affiliate that we want to see. And what we'll see is the contacts that this affiliate referred to us. So if I put an affiliate ID here, I will see the contacts that this affiliate sent to my list or to my pages using their affiliate links. Now, let's say you want to add a tag to several contacts. You would click here, that would select the whole list. That selection would make a new menu appear at the bottom with the options delete and more actions. So you would click on more actions, add tag, and then choose from one of the tags that I have created. So let's say that this lead came from my webinar. I would just tag webinar and then add tag. And then if you refresh the page, you will see that the tag was added to that contact. You could also do the opposite, removing the tag exactly the same way, just removing the tag that was just added. You could subscribe the contact to an email campaign. You would choose the campaign, and then that contact will start receiving emails from that campaign. And of course, you can do the exact opposite, which is unsubscribe a contact or several contacts from a campaign. If you do this, then they will stop receiving all your newsletters, your email campaigns, your automatic emails, everything. And then the last option right here is export. So what this will do is it will send your complete contact list to your email address. It will be sent in a CSV file, and that way you can easily import your list to another System.io account or just have it as a backup. Today we're going to learn how to create, modify, and moderate funnels in System.io. So let's start by understanding what a funnel is. To put it simply, a sales funnel is a marketing term used to describe the journey that a prospective customer goes through on the way to their purchase. You will use our funnel feature to build most of your pages, and this is definitely a key feature to understand. So in order to create a funnel in System.io, the first thing that we do is go to our Funnels tab, click on the button Create, and then we just need to add a name to your funnel. You can name it however you want. After that, we choose the domain. If you don't have a domain or the user doesn't have a domain, then you will find subdomain, and this subdomain is given for free when you open a System.io account. But if you do have a domain, then you can go to the settings and then integrate your domain so that you can use it for the pages in your funnel. After that, we need to choose a type of funnel that we want to create. So like the objective for the funnel. We have here several options like build an audience, sell, custom funnel, or we can run an evergreen webinar funnel. We'll start with the first type, which is to build an audience. We will use this funnel in order to collect and save leads who will use our squeeze page for our funnel. So before we click on save to see our funnel, there's an important button right here, the currency button, that we have to acknowledge. So it really doesn't matter which type of funnel we're building. The euro is going to be our default currency. But for this specific funnel that we're building with the goal of building an audience, we're not charging for any product in the pages that we will build. But if for some reason we want to include an order form or a page where a customer would pay for something, then this becomes really important. So here's a funnel that we just created, and let's take a look at it. You'll see that when we go through it, you're going to have two pages on this funnel. So we're going to find the squeeze page and a thank you page. The squeeze page, like I mentioned before, is the page we're going to use to collect information from our leads. So this page must contain a form where our prospective customers will enter their information, and then the thank you page comes after your contact opts in or subscribes. We just want to thank them for their subscription, for their opt-in, and then we can redirect the contact to any other page that we like. So maybe a community, maybe a Facebook group, or really any next step you want your customer to take. The first thing that we need to do when creating pages in our funnel is to select the template that we're going to work with. So we have many templates to choose from in our template library. Right now, I'm just going to use any template just to use as an example, but you can preview the templates that you think will fit you best. The same principle applies for the thank you page, so just click on it and select the template that you're going to use. Now let's go back to our squeeze page. After selecting the template, the page is fully functional and ready to go. Over here you can see the link to the page. You can just click on this button and it will copy it so you can start sharing it. Or if you want to take a look at how this funnel step looks, just click right here. It will take you straight to the page that you just created to collect your leads. Of course, this is a completely unedited template. As a user, you will customize everything on your page to match your brand and your needs. So when you're customizing your pages, it's a really good idea to have your brand colors, your brand fonts, your images handy, because that way you can customize it and modify things easily. As I mentioned before, the most important thing for a squeeze page is the form. So you really need to make sure that your form is working correctly so that you can collect all the information from your leads and from everyone who visits the page and wants to provide you with their email addresses and other contact information. Before we learn how to customize our funnels, let's take a look at the buttons and options that we have right here. If you look closely at the right side of each funnel step, you're going to see three buttons here which are specific to each funnel step. The first button is to duplicate the funnel. So by clicking on the button, you will immediately get a copy of that page. The second one, we use it when we want to move the page from one funnel to another. So I just need to click the button, click Move Funnel Step, and then choose the funnel where I want to take the page. And then the third button is the one we use when we want to remove the funnel step. Now let's take a look at the buttons that are located in the right-hand corner of our page. This one's right here. The first one we'll see is the View Funnel button. So when you click on it, you will visit and see the first page of your funnel. In this case, our first page is the squeeze page. So if we click here, that's where it will take us. Let's go back and take a look at the second button, which is the Funnel Settings button. You would use it to edit the main settings of your funnel, so you can change the name, you can choose a different domain for your funnel, and you will notice the currency option is shaded, meaning it cannot be changed. So you want to make sure at the very beginning when you're creating the funnel to choose the right currency, the correct currency, because you cannot change it later on. Below the currency option, you will see the allowed payment methods for this funnel. Right now it's not showing any because this particular account that I'm using is not connected to any payment platforms, but you will be able to connect your Stripe or your PayPal accounts to System, and then those options will appear here. You can activate one payment method or activate them all. That way, if you add an order form or a product to your funnel pages, then the customer will be able to choose if they want to pay with Stripe or with PayPal or with a credit card or with any payment method that you add. Let's take a look at the last button right here. This one is to create and publish a marketplace offer. Let's say you're selling something here and I want affiliates to promote my offer. So you would just click this button and then fill up the form. So you will write the name of the offer, add a small description so that affiliates know what they're about to promote. Also, you need to select a category for your offer. There's a drop-down menu and you can choose a category from there. And then you're going to add an image to your offer. After that, you're going to select the pages that you want your affiliates to promote. So here, for example, I only have a squeeze page. So I don't have an order form, I don't have a sales page. So that's why we only see a squeeze page here. And then for the info page, this is a page that you create within your funnel if you want to add any important information like your policies, your terms and conditions, and just any other important details that you might want to add for your affiliates. And then you click save and your page will be added to your marketplace so that other system users can find it and promote it. In this case, if someone promotes my squeeze page and that person manages is to get leads to opt in, then their affiliate ID will be associated with those leads. And if they purchase an offer, then that affiliate who promoted my squeeze page will earn a commission. Let's continue with the last set of buttons that we have right here. On the very top, we have the Save Funnel Step button. This is really important and you want to use it every time you make a change in this stage of your funnel configuration. So let's say, for example, I want to use a different name for my squeeze page. I just change the name and then straight to save. You can also customize the link for your page. For instance, let's just write a squeeze page and get rid of the random numbers. So now I save and then I have a different link. The second button here is the button that we use to visit the page. Then the third button is another super important button, and you use it to enter the template editor. That's where you design and customize a template that you chose for this funnel step. The last button is used when you want to change the template of your page. You have to be very careful with this button because if you decide to change your template, you will lose all the work you had on your previous template. It will not automatically bring your text, images, and other blocks to fit the new template. Now let's take a look at the funnels editor. So if you want to change any element of your page, you would click here on this button and access the editor. On the left, you will see all the elements that you can add to your page. You can scroll all the way down. There's plenty of elements, plenty of options that you could use. And on the right, you will see the page that you're editing. So you can customize, modify, add and remove any element you want. Pages are created with sections. Inside the sections, we find rows. Inside the rows, we find elements. For example, here, there's a text element. If I click on the text element, I will see that the text element is placed inside a row. This row is placed inside another row. And then there's a section that contains all of the elements I just mentioned. When you click on an element, you will see the settings for that particular element. Each one has different options. The options appear on the left when you click on the element. So as you can see, there's a lot of things that we can customize. With our editor, you truly let your creativity take over and customize as much as you want. We have different types of elements. So the first one you'll see here is the text element. You would use it whenever you want to add text to your page. It's a really easy to use element. You just need to drag it and drop it wherever you want it to go. Like here, for example, I just added text element and then I would remove the default text and just add my own text. So whatever you want to write. Right above your text, you'll find the basic quick editing tools. So with this menu, you can change the color. For instance, let's make it red. You can also edit the basic formatting options like making it bold, italic, or underlined, and also making it clickable by adding a link to a file or a URL. The rest of the options, we'll find them on the menu on the left whenever you select one of the text elements. Now let's take a look at the rest of our text elements. So we have the plain text, the one I just used, and then we have the headline element, which you can use to add titles to your page. And finally, we have the bullet list, which is pretty self-explanatory. You can use it whenever you want to highlight key takeaways or really anything you would like to list. And the very last element for this category of elements is the content box. So think of this box as a highlighter. When you use it, you immediately have a row inside of the box, which you can use to add text, images, videos, audio files, or really anything that you would like to highlight. Let's continue with our media elements. If you would like to add one of these elements, you would just drag and drop the element on your page, and when you click on it, you'll see the settings of the elements you just added on the left. Let's use an image as an example. So I would just drag and drop it on my page, and then to actually look for the image, I would click on the image file upload icon, and once there, you can upload it from your device, or click on your images, which are the images you previously uploaded to your account and are saved there for easy access. So just select your image and click insert. For videos, it's the exact same procedure. You can upload videos from your device, but you can also add them with a direct link if you host them on a different platform or add an embed code. Audio files follow the same structure as the two previous elements. You can add them from your device or through a direct link to an external source. So let's move on to a really cool element here, and that's the carousel element. You can pretty much add any kind of media file to a carousel, and then it will be shown as slides in your page. So what you're going to do is you add your carousel to your page, then click on it to open its settings, and then you start adding your slides one by one, clicking on Add New Slide. And then what you'll do is you'll drag any element you want to each of your slides. So for my first slide, I'll just go ahead and add an image. Then I'll go back to carousel, select the second slide, and add a video, and so on. And that's how you easily create a multimedia carousel on your page. Let's take a look at the column layout elements. These elements are used whenever we add a new part to a page or when we create a page from scratch. If you want to build your pages and want a clear picture of where to start or what goes first, this is it. We usually start with a section. So for example, let's add a section right here. Now that we have a brand new section, we can go ahead and add rows. Then we can add a column element like the 3 columns element inside the row. Then inside the element, we can add other elements that we want on a page. For example, an image here, a video here, and then an audio file here. Of course, we can customize the space between each element, and we can move the element from a place to another, and also from row to row. You just have to drag and drop the elements wherever you want them placed. Next, we have the form element. So you can create forms easily on any page on System.io, but you need to know that in order for a form to work, it must always have at least these 2 parts, a form input element and a button. Like here, for example, we have a form input, which is the visitor's email address, and we have the button to save the information given on the form. Now, if you want a successful subscription, you must make sure that the action for the button is set on Send Form. We have other actions for our buttons, but if you're using a form with form inputs, you need to use the action Send Form in order to save the contact's information. We can add other form inputs to ask for any information we want. For example, we can add a second form input here, and we can choose the type first name. So like here, I will be asking my page visitors to give their first names and their email address in order to subscribe. Another useful element you should consider adding to your forms is a checkbox. This element is used so that your subscribers can give their consent and approval for receiving emails. If you decide to add a checkbox, it will be mandatory for subscribers to select the checkbox in order to send the form. So make sure it stands out, and that way you don't miss on any new leads. Now let's take a look at our social elements, starting with Facebook comments. So you can add a box where visitors can leave comments with their Facebook profiles. Keep in mind, other visitors will be able to see the comments left by previous visitors. We also have a handy Twitter share button. You can add this button any place on your page, and when someone clicks on it, they can share the page on their Twitter account. If you want to add other social media buttons that redirect to your social accounts, then you can do that as well just by adding each individual icon as an image and adding the URL of your account like Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, or really any other platform. The last social element we have in our menu is the survey element. So this element can be used to ask questions to your page visitors and also as a lead magnet. So when you click on the survey, you will see the options here. You can click on Edit Survey Questions here. You can add the questions, and then you add the answer options for each question. The results for this survey element are not public, meaning not everyone who visits the page can see previous results for other visitors. Instead, they will appear in the contact page of the visitor who opts into the survey. So every time someone comes to your page and uses the survey, they will be subscribing using a form at the end of the survey, which is the final step. You can customize this form aspect of your survey by clicking here. And now let's go to the very last group of elements. Here, you will find other very useful elements that you can use for other page objectives and goals. So the first one is the countdown element. You can add a countdown easily on the page, just like any other element, just by dragging it into place. When you click on the countdown, you will be prompted with its settings on the left, and that's where you choose the type of countdown that you want. So we have these 3 options: a fixed time and date, a delayed countdown, and a daily countdown. It really depends on what you're using it for. Countdowns are usually used to create urgency around a promotion or an event, meaning once the countdown expires, the offer will no longer be available to your visitors. You can set the action of what you want to happen when the countdown expires. You can go with doing nothing or redirecting to a URL. So for example, let's say you're live launching a course and you're running an early bird sale that will end on a fixed date. You can set this date and then redirect them to another page, a different URL, where you let them know that the promotion or the sale has expired. Next, we have the menu element. This is a great element to use at the top of your page or really anywhere on your page if you're building a more robust page where you want your visitors to be able to find several links and be redirected to other pages. This is an element that can contain many items. You can click on it and start adding your menu items. You would just add a name. That's the one that will be displayed on the menu, and then the link. So whenever someone clicks on it, they can be redirected to wherever you want them to go. Moving on, we have the horizontal line element.
This is a design only element. It doesn't really have any technical function. You can use it just to divide sections or just whenever you need a line divider. And then we have a really useful element, and that is the HTML row element. So you would use it whenever you want to add a code, a script, really any kind of code to the page in order to show an external element that you might want from somewhere else. So you would just add the element and click on it, and then you'll find the space to paste your code or to add your code. And whatever code you put here, it will show on the page as the actual element that you're trying to integrate. Last but not least, we have the FAQ element. FAQ stands for frequently asked questions. And this is a must have element if you get the same questions over and over again from your clients, or if you can anticipate questions in regards to your offer. They really save you a lot of time. So you can click on the element, you drop it wherever you want, and then you add the questions here. And then for each question, you can respond with an element. So adding an element inside the box. For example, you can add a text element and just write your response, or you can even answer with a video. You can add any element you'd like here to add your response. The next section you'll find right next to our elements is the block section or the blocks button. Blocks are pre-saved sections that we know for a fact most online business owners use in their pages. So we just wanted them to be already made for you. That way you can just change the text and then it's ready to go. For instance, opt-in forms, features, page footers, and welcome messages. All of these have been pre-made as templates, so you can easily add them to your page in just a few clicks. So let's say I want to add this welcome block. I would just click it and then it will be added to the end of the page. But since it's a welcome block, I can just drag it to wherever I want it to be placed. And in this case, it would be the top of my page. Blocks are really your best friend when it comes to saving time building your pages. You can actually create your own blocks so you can use them across your pages without having to start from scratch. So let's say I want to use this part of my page on another step of my funnel or another page. I would just click here on the save button and you can save any element as a block. So you can save a whole section or just a row. You would just add a title for it, like a name for it, so you can easily find it. Let's just write course funnel welcome. You can save it like that and it will be saved as a simple block, or you can click here and save it as a master block. The difference between a simple block and a master block is that with a master block, if you make a change to the block while you're editing, then all of the other pages where you use that block will change as well. And so for the simple blocks, you don't have to worry about all of your pages changing if you use it and edit it. So once you decide what kind of block you want to save it as, you can click create, and that way whenever you want to use it again, you will find it right here on the blocks tab. Now let's take a look at the other tabs in the editor. So the settings and the pop-ups tabs. Starting out with the pop-ups tabs, for context, a pop-up is a window that appears on your screen without an intentional action from the person looking at the page, meaning it appears automatically depending on the settings that you decide for it. So if you want to create one, just go to this tab and click Add Pop-up. You will immediately be prompted with the pop-up window, and to edit it, you would just click here on the Edit Pop-up Settings button. Now we can customize our pop-ups, so we can add elements, input forms, images, really any element that you want into your pop-up, and also make sure that the settings are what we want them to be. So the first setting that you can choose from is to show or not to show the close button of the pop-up. You can actually delay for the pop-up to show up. So when someone clicks on the close button, then they won't see the pop-up again until the delay has passed. This delay is in days. So if you choose, let's say 1 day here, that means that if someone visits your page, sees the pop-up, and then they click on the close button, this person will not see the pop-up again in 24 hours. You can also choose to show the pop-up automatically. So if you turn this option on, you will have to decide how many seconds after the person enters your page, they will see the pop-up show up. So let's say I want the pop-up to show up 6 seconds after someone enters my page. I would just use the slider or type 6 here. Another important pop-up setting is the exit intent setting. This option allows you to set your pop-up to appear when the person that's visiting your page is about to quit the page. You just need to turn it on, and every time someone from a desktop tries to quit the page, then they'll see your pop-up on their screen automatically. This setting only works in computers, so for mobile, you will just have to set it up using a timer and this slider right here. This is where you decide on the delay in seconds. Right below this setting, you'll find the design settings for your pop-up window. So as you can see here, you can customize the background color, the padding, border, shadows. You can round the corners, just like any other element. Now let's take a look at the settings button. So when you go to the editor settings here, you will find the general settings or the default settings for your page. Here you can choose your default font type, font style, font size, line height, etc. So the settings that you put here will be your default settings for most of your elements in your page, but of course, any element can be customized in detail. You can also find the language, and the language here is really important for a page because that's the language that the system will use, for instance, to show error messages to your visitors. For example, if someone tries to subscribe using one of your order forms, but they don't fill the form out correctly, then they'll see an error message saying they must fill out the form completely, and it will appear in the language that you selected for your page. Another scenario where the language is important is when we send out default messages to your customers or subscribers when they enroll in your courses or purchase your offers. So it's really important that you choose the correct language. Here on the settings tab, you can also add a background to your page. This background will be the main background for the whole page. You can add a color as a background, or you can add an image. And of course, you can blur the image when you add it as a background for your page. Next, we have the SEO part of your page. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. Here, you can add the title of your page, you can add a description, keywords, and the goal behind this is to try for your page to rank higher and make it more visible for search engines. You can also add the author to your page. You can choose to add a social image, and this image will appear anytime someone shares your page on social media. And then we have this option right here. That's where you decide either to hide or show your page on search engines. Maybe you don't want any external traffic coming to your page, you just want your page to be private, then you would select this checkbox. Then we get to the tracking codes area here. So we can add tracking codes to the header and footer of the page. For example, a Facebook pixel or a Google Analytics pixel, so you can put it right here. And it's useful for tracking user behavior and conversions. And finally, we get to the affiliation part here. Here you have an option to display the Powered by System.io badge on your page. And if one of your visitors clicks on it, they will immediately be redirected to our homepage with your affiliate ID, which means that if they purchase one of our plans or resources, you will get a commission because they came from your page. So keep in mind that you will only get the option to remove the badge with our paid plans. Now let's check our order form is working because that's the goal of a landing or a squeeze page. It's to collect emails and leads. So let's just put an email address here. We see the thank you page, which is perfect. This means it has been successfully submitted, and we should see the contact in our contact tab. So let's go there, and here it is. So our contact has been successfully created. Let's take a look at the other tabs we can find in this funnel step. As you can see, we have automations, A/B testing, stats, sales, deadline settings, and leads. We'll go over each one, starting with automation rules. Automation rules can be created in this tab right here as well, but if you want to create them easier and rapidly, right from the funnel you're working with, you can create them right here in this tab. To create a new rule, click on New Rule, then you select the type of trigger you want your automation to be activated with. In this case, we have two triggers to choose from: funnel step form subscribed or page visited. Since this is a squeeze page we're working with and we're collecting leads, we recommend using the first trigger, so funnel step form subscribed. And then we're going to choose the action. So what happens when our trigger is set off? In this case, what happens when someone opts in to one of our forms? You will see a list of actions pop up, and you will choose whatever is more convenient for your intended goal. For example, you can subscribe a contact to a campaign, unsubscribe them from a campaign, add a tag, remove a tag, send an email, even send an email to a specific address, enroll the subscriber to a course, and send a webhook. Just select the one you want, click Save, and your automation will be created. Now let's take a look at the A/B test tab. A/B testing, also known as split testing, refers to a randomized experimentation process where two or more versions of something is analyzed. This is very useful to online business owners because we can test which page leads to more conversions. So let's say I create a second squeeze page and I call it squeeze page 2, so the one I have right here. I chose a different template for it. As you can see, it's different from the first one. And I just want to see which one might perform better. To do this, I would use A/B testing. So just put the two pages together, then go to A/B test and click on choose a variant. So the variant for this first page is the second squeeze page I created. And the goal page is the thank you page because I want both of them to redirect to the thank you page. Click submit and then start A/B test. Once you do this, you will see a table where you can see the data for each page. You can see the views each page got and their conversion rate. So now whenever you share your link, whether that's on an ad or social media or an email, your audience will see either the first page or second page you created. It will be completely random, and this only happens when the A/B test is active. So let's copy the link and open it in this browser. And then the same link that I just copied, I will open it in another browser or an incognito window. And as you can see, the same link led me to two different versions of my squeeze page. So if we go back to the table, I'll see there's one visitor, one view. Whatever page gets the most subscriptions will have the higher conversion rate, and therefore it will guide you towards making your decision on which squeeze page to use between the two. Now let's continue with the statistics tab. When you click on it, you'll see a table with all your funnel pages, and to the right, you'll see a calendar where you can select the dates or time periods for the stats. The data this table will show you is divided in 4 columns. The first one is page views, so how many people have seen your pages, then opt-ins, sales, and earnings per page view. Of course, since we only have a squeeze page at the moment, we won't see any sales in this area for this specific funnel. Next, we have the sales tab. If we were selling something, you would see the data related to purchases. So for instance, the date the purchase was made, the price, the funnel step, the customer's email, and their status. All the info appears here once someone uses an order form or buys something from an upsell or downsell or any page you use to sell something in your funnel. Moving on to deadline settings. So our deadline settings can be used in any page that contains a form. It is a tool that you can use if you want to make a page unavailable to someone after they subscribe. So for example, let's say I want to make my squeeze page appear for only 24 hours after someone subscribes, which means that if you come to the squeeze page and then you subscribe using the form I have on the page, if you come back to the page after 2 days, you will not be able to see the page. It will be unavailable. So in order for you to do that, you can use the deadline settings. You will enable it, and then you can put here 1 day. So here I just choose my squeeze page, I click save, and then anyone who subscribes using my squeeze page will no longer be able to see it again after the deadline has passed. Finally, we have the leads tab, and it will show you all the contacts that subscribed using this funnel step. By now, we know how to create a funnel to build an audience. So now let's take a look at a sales funnel. So let's create a new funnel, choose sales funnel, and click create. In this type of funnel, you'll always find an order form and a thank you page. The order form is really the only page you need to sell something with System.io. But to make this example more robust and clear, let's add other funnel step or other pages. So we're going to add a sales page, an upsell, and a downsell. Let's now reorder the pages. Remember, the steps in your funnel follow a sequential order. So the first step is always the one on top, and then the next steps follow underneath. The thank you page in this case goes last. So let's choose a template for each one. And now that I've chosen all the templates for all my pages, remember you can customize all of your templates with your brand's colors so that you have a cohesive funnel. So now let's start with the first page, which is our sales page. Usually the sales page is a simple page. You would use this page to present your offer in detail. It's very informative. So you would use text blocks and buttons mainly. And these buttons usually take you to an order form or several order forms depending on how many offers you have on your sales page. For example, I can make this button redirect to my order form, which is the next step in the funnel. So I would just go to the editor, click on the button, and then where it says action when button clicked, click on next step URL. Now we just save, and this means that when someone visits the sales page and reads about your offer, and then they click on the button, they go straight to the order form where they can pay. Now let's take a look at the order form. The order form is a special page. You're going to notice it's a little different from the other funnel steps. To start, you can see you can add an affiliate commission here. This means that you can actually give a commission to people or affiliates who promote your offers. So here, for example, if you type 20, it means that you will give 20% commissions to anyone who promotes your offer. In order for them to do so, they just need to take the link to the page and add their affiliate ID to this link and share it with their audience. We can also add a sales limit, and this means that we can limit the number of offers that are sold through this order form. Think of this limit as an inventory for your order form. So let's say you only have 10 spots on your online course, then you would type 10, and after 10 sales are made, the order form will no longer be available. And it will redirect to the page that you choose right here. All right, now we need to choose the type of offer that we're selling. We can have a digital product or a physical product. But for this example, we are choosing a digital product, and then we will go over physical products later on. So when you select a digital product, you will see resources and price plans. Resources are the digital products that you can sell with this order form. So you can sell an online course, a course bundle, or access to a community. And you could also choose to add a tag here. This doesn't mean that we're selling a tag. It just means that a tag will be added when someone uses this order form. And in the event of a refund request, then the tag will be automatically removed because it was added automatically here in the resources. So if I want to sell a course, for example, I should use a course here, and then I would search for the training course in the list. Of course, I would have to create the course beforehand for it to appear on the list. And you would have to also host your course with System.io for it to appear here. Now, for the online course, you'll have different types of access that you can provide to your students. The first option is to give full access. This means that the client will get access to all of the modules and lessons inside your courses at the time that they purchase. On the other hand, if we choose to drip the content, it will be a little different. Instead of having access to all of the modules and lessons at once, there will be a delay between the lectures. This is especially useful if you're pre-selling your course. So let's say you finish recording a lesson and you give access to your students for them to see that lesson. And then the next week, you give access to the second lesson. Or even if you just want your students to go at the same pace, then you would choose to drip the content and not publish it all at once. Now, let's talk about partial access. This is really useful because you might want to sell specific parts of your course individually. Let's say you have a course in social media for beginners, and you have a module for Instagram, another for TikTok, and another for Pinterest, and one of your customers is only interested in learning about TikTok. Then instead of having to buy the whole course, they can just buy the module about TikTok. Right below the modules that you want to sell, you'll find two options. The first one is you can choose to grant access to the training course on a specific date. Again, this is great for pre-selling because you can let your prospective students know that they can buy the course now, but it will be available on a specific date in the future. It's also great for accountability and setting a goal when creating your course, because once the date is set, you know that you have to keep your word and have it done by then. The second option is adding an expiration date to your course access. This means you can decide on a number of days the person has access to your course. Once this number of days have passed, your students will no longer have access to the course. So for example, if I put here 30 days, this means that once someone buys my course, they will get access to it for 30 days. And then once the 30 days have passed, the access will be revoked automatically. As soon as you have a payment processor connected to your system account, you can create or add price plans to your order forms. So in order to do that, you would just click here and you would see this pop up with two options. You can choose a price plan from the price plans that you already have created. You would just click here and select one from the list. Or if this is your first price plan, you would click here to create a new one. So let's do that. When creating a new price plan, you will need to add the name for it. So the name will be displayed in your system dashboard. And you would also have to add a name that will be displayed in the order form. And this is the name that will be seen by your clients on the page. Then you need to add a statement descriptor, which is the text that your clients will see in their bank statements for the purchase. And finally, you would select the type of price plan that you're creating. So let's write test in all these fields. And of course, you would use your own names, but this is just an example. So now let's review the types of price plans that we have available, starting with one-time payment. One-time payments are a simple payment type, and the name says it all. It will only be done once. You would write the amount here, and your customer will pay it in full. So if we put, for example, 100 euros here, this is the total amount for your offer, and your client will pay it only one time and have access to it. This takes me to the second price plan option, which is subscriptions. A subscription is a recurrent payment. So you choose the frequency here and you add the amount. For example, if I write 10 euros here and I choose a frequency, for example, let's make it a monthly payment. So I would choose 1 month as frequency. So this way the customer will be paying 10 euros each month when he buys the offer. I can also add a trial period for my subscription. So if we put here, for example, 15 days, this means the customer will get the offer for free in the first 15 days after their purchase, and then they will start paying 10 euros each month. A subscription is not limited. So if someone takes a subscription, they will keep paying until the person cancels the subscription, or the users or the owner cancels the subscription for that customer. So both of them can cancel the subscription to stop the payments. And if the subscription is canceled, their resources or the access to their resources will be gone. Like here, for example, we added an online course, so a training course in the resources. So if someone takes that offer, they will get the course, but if they stop paying for the offer, they will lose all the access to the course. Now let's check the third tab, and this is the payment plan here. So it's merely a monthly subscription, but then I limit the number of payments. So if I write 5 payments, it means that my customer will pay 10 euros each month, but only 5 times. So after the 5th time or the 5th month, they will stop paying and they'll get to keep their offer. So let's create a simple price plan. I will be using one-time payment and it will cost 10 euros. Now, the price plan has been created and added to the order form. All I need to do now is save and then go back and check the editor. Here in the editor, we need to check several things. So we need to make sure that we have a form with the necessary form fields. We also need to make sure that we have an element called payment method, and this element will allow the customer to choose the payment method that they will use to buy the offer. We also need the price element, and this will display the price on your page. And we also need to make sure that we have a payment button. The payment button cannot be customized, so it has no action here, as you can see. By default, the payment button confirms and validates the payment and takes you to the next upsell page or thank you page or whatever page comes after the order form on that specific funnel. So here's what the customers will see. There is a form to fill, and then they choose their payment methods. They see the price, and they can just validate the payment by clicking here. As soon as they click here, the payment will go through, and then they'll get access to the offer. After that, they will be redirected to the upsell or whatever comes after the order form. Before we go to the upsell, let's check the other options that we have here. If you see here, we have coupons. So we can use coupons in an order form to give a discount to our customers. To do that, you would just need to make sure that you created the coupons here. And then I would come to the order form and choose the coupon that I want to use. There is a list of coupons that I've already created beforehand. So I would just choose the one that I'll be using. I just use the name test for this coupon, but you can call it whatever you want. You can give welcome coupons, or if you are doing influencer marketing, you can give them specific coupons like with their names. So this is the code that the customers will need to use in order to get the discount. They must type, in this case, test in order to see the discount. And for this example, the discount that they'll be getting is 20%. So I would just click save and go to the order form in the editor. So I would just search for the coupon element and just drop it on the page. So let's just do a test. Let's check if the coupon is working. If I write or type any code here, it won't work. But if I type the right code, I will get the discount. So as you see here, the price now is 8 euros because I got 20% discount with the code. Now that we have our payment plans and coupons ready, let's go ahead and learn about the additional offers we can add to our order forms. So our main offer is here, and then we can add another offer on the same page. This is called an order bump. So just click here on order bump and then choose the type of product I'm selling. Let's choose a digital product, let's say another course, and I'll give full access to it. After that, I would just repeat the steps I went through with my main offer. So I would just add a price plan. You can choose one from the list or create a new one. That's totally up to you. Just remember to click save. And then we're going to go back to the editor for my order form page and add a new element to it. This is the order bump element. You can look for it in our element menu right here on the left and drag it straight to the page like so. As you can see, there's a placeholder text, so you have to customize it and write about the offer. Remember, an order bump is usually something that your ideal client might want or need if they are already buying your main offer. So it's like a complementary resource, if you will. This is actually a really good sales tactic, and our most successful users swear by it. So now here's what our order form looks like with the order bump. And what's really cool about this is that they don't have to go through a whole other different payment process. They only need to check this checkbox, and the second offer will be added to their order. Now, remember our funnel had another page called the upsell page. This is the page that our order form will redirect the customer after they make their purchase. The upsell page is very similar to an order form page in the sense that you can add digital products, physical products, and even affiliate commissions. But there are two main differences between the order form and upsell pages. The first difference is that the upsell link by itself doesn't really work. That means if we try to visit the page, we will be redirected to the order form and we won't be able to see the upsell. And the second difference is that the upsell does not contain any form. So here's a template that I chose for the upsell. And as you can see here, there is no form. In these pages, you only find a button to accept the offer and another button to decline the offer. And this is why you can't visit the upsell directly from the link, because your customer must first use the form to fill out their payment information before getting your upsell offer. We want this to be as simple as a yes or no decision, and having to go through a whole other payment process might not be appealing to someone who's already in purchase mode. So for the upsell, your customer would just click on the accept offer button and the payment will process immediately. But if they decline the offer, they will be redirected to our next step in the funnel, which is the downsell page. The downsell is pretty much the same thing as the upsell page in the sense that the link by itself won't work and there are no forms in it. The difference here relies in your sales strategy. Usually, downsells offer a lower price product that might get customers who are on the fence about buying to take action. Now, redirections for both upsell and downsells are made automatically upon decision. So when someone accepts the upsell offer, they will skip the downsell and will go to the thank you page directly. But if someone declines the upsell offer, they will go to the downsell. Once there, whether they accept or decline, they will be redirected to the thank you page. Now, we can also add other upsells to the funnel. Really, you can add as many as you want. So let's do that. Let's add another upsell and choose a template for it. Okay, so now the second upsell is ready. We just need to put it after the first order form or after the upsell or even after the downsell. So if you put it here, it will be the first page that appears when the customer validates the payment in the order form. If you put the second upsell after the first one, the customer will come from the order form to the first upsell and then from the first upsell to the second one, no matter what choice they make in the first upsell. If you put the second upsell after the downsell, the customer will come from the order form and they will land on the first upsell. Here, if they accept the upsell, they will go to the second upsell directly. But if they decline the first upsell, then they will see the downsell page. After that, they will see the second upsell, and finally, they will be redirected to the thank you page. And it really doesn't matter what they decide on in the second upsell, whether they accept the offer or decline the offer, the last step for them will be the thank you page. Now let's create another type of funnel. This time we're going to create a webinar funnel. So as you know, when you create a funnel, you'll see the different types of funnel options that we have. So we have build an audience, sell, custom funnel, and evergreen webinar funnel. We're not going to create a custom funnel because custom funnels are empty. It's basically an empty canvas for you to build as you wish. So let's click on run an evergreen webinar. Something important to note is that you cannot run live webinars with System.io. You can run pre-recorded webinars, but they will look and have the feel of a live webinar when the visitors register and come to your webinar page. So let's give it a name. Let's choose the currency and click Save. Now you'll see a webinar funnel in your funnel list, and you can see we have 3 pages by default. So we have the webinar registration page, the webinar thank you page, and finally the webinar broadcast page. Just like we did with the other 2 funnel types, you would select a template for each of your funnel steps. And you'll notice that the links for the thank you page and broadcast page won't work if you copy and paste them to your browser. This is because visitors must register or use the webinar registration page first in order to see the other pages. So let's take a look at the registration page. This page always contains a form where the visitors will register and select the time that they want to attend the webinar. This is what gives the webinar a live feel to it. The fact that it is shown in time slots, just like a live webinar would be or would take place at a specific time. If we go to the page editor, you'll find a special element used just for this purpose. It's called webinar registration date. Just look for it on the elements menu on your left and drag it in place. Then when you go in to edit it, you will have the options here so you can add the time slots for your webinar. Please note that you cannot choose the days for a webinar. You can only choose times here. And that's because webinars on System.io can only be broadcasted on the day the visitor gets to the page and not on a future date. So here you would add the times for your visitors, and then when they visit your webinar registration page, they'll choose the time that they want to see the webinar. So let's do a test. Let's fill out the form with an example, select our time slot, and then click on the registration button. And there you go. We go straight to the webinar's thank you page. So this link right here is a custom link. So it's unique to each visitor. So if we click on the link, it will take us to the webinar broadcast page and we will see a countdown timer. It counts down to the time that you decided to register for. Once it ends, the webinar will start like a live event. But remember, this is a pre-recorded video that you will add to the webinar's broadcast page. So let's take a look at how to do that. The element you will look for is called webinar session video. Here you can add your video with a direct link, or you can upload a video from your own device. Now let's go back to the webinar registration page. As you can see here, there's a tab that is not present in any other funnel step, and this is the emails tab. This tab is key to the evergreen strategy of our webinar. It allows you to create emails that create urgency or remind your subscribers about the event that they registered for, therefore increasing the chance of them attending. So for example, if I want to send an automatic email to someone who subscribes to my webinar, I'll go to this list where I can choose the event this email is for. In this case, the event is registration to webinar, and I can add a delay for this email, for example, 10 minutes. This means the subscriber will receive this email 10 minutes after they register, and here you would just write something like, "Thank you for registering" or subscribing. In the body of your email, you can thank them again and include the link to the webinar broadcast page. But remember I mentioned the link to the broadcast page won't work by itself, so we're not going to copy and paste it here. We will use a very handy email tool called Available Substitutes. You'll find them right here in the bottom right corner of your page, and this is the one you'll use to share the webinar broadcast page in your emails. Just copy it and place it anywhere in your email. Now, whenever this email is sent, your registrants will get their individual webinar link. Don't worry because the actual email won't show the substitute code, but what they actually stand for. So for example, when this email is opened, it will be replaced by the actual link. And the same goes for all the other substitutes. So for instance, the first name substitute will be replaced by your subscriber's actual first name. We can write something like hi, first name, and the person will see the real name there, as long as that is something they provided when filling out the registration form. We can also use different events that will trigger these emails. So the second event that you'll see in the drop-down menu is webinar starts. So you can choose to send the email before or after the webinar starts. You can use the before option to remind your subscribers that the webinar will start soon, and use the after option to follow up and remind them about your offer, or maybe about a certain bonus expiring, or any other post-attendance information that you would like to provide. Now let's save it and head over to our funnels tab to see the options that we have for each funnel. So as you see here, we have 3 dots for each funnel. This means there's a menu with several options to choose from. The first option is view. So when I click here, I will visit the first page of that funnel. The second option is to duplicate. So if we click here, another copy of this funnel will be created immediately. Next, we have the option to share the funnel. So if I click on share, I will be prompted with a share link. This link can be shared with another SystemeIO user. This way, when they click on the link, they will get the exact same funnel that was created, but on their system funnel list. This is a great tool if you build funnels and sell them as templates, or if you have several businesses associated with different system accounts and just want to share your funnels. Now, if you share the link with someone who's not yet a SystemeIO user, then they will be asked to create an account. And upon doing this, they will find the funnel that was shared in their funnel list. This link also works as an affiliate link. So if you share it with someone who's not yet a SystemeIO user and they end up signing up for one of our paid plans or purchase one of our offers, then you'll get a commission. We also have the settings button. So here we can change the name of our funnel, the domain that we're using for this funnel, and we can also see the currency that we're using for the funnel, but cannot change it here. Remember, the currency is chosen when you're first creating the funnel and cannot be changed afterwards. We also see the payment methods that are available for our customers. In this case, I only have a PayPal account associated with my SystemeIO account, so that's the only option that's showing. But if you have others, they will show up here as well. And the last option we have here is to deactivate the funnel. This indicates that all my funnel pages won't be shown anymore, and if someone visits one of my funnel pages, they will be shown the inactive page, which is found in all funnels and can be customized. You just have to open your funnel, go to the bottom of your funnel pages, that's where you'll find the inactive page, and write anything you want here, anything you want your clients or visitors to see. Maybe redirect them to your current offers or any other relevant call to action. It's time to go over our blogs feature. With SystemeIO, you can create blogs, which are a type of website that is updated on a regular basis. You might want to create a blog if you want to share information about your offers, your business, or a certain topic. So to create one, you would just need to click on create and then fill out the information like giving it a name, choosing its domain. If you have your own domain connected to your SystemeIO account, then you would find it here and use it across the pages of your blog. Then just go ahead and customize the URL path for your blog's homepage and choose a template. We have many templates to choose from, so you can preview each one and see which one adapts more to your needs. And then once you find the one you like the most, just select it and click on Save. Now that the blog has been created, let's take a look at what it looks like inside. So the structure of a blog in System.io is made up of posts, pages, and categories. You can create posts and add them to one or more categories. Now let's take a look at what would be your first stop when creating your blog, and that is the blog layout. So let's click on it. The blog layout, as you can see, is an editor, very similar to our funnels editor. This is where you'll add all the elements that will appear in all the pages of your blog. So whatever you add here will be seen across your whole website. So for example, let's say I want to add a pop-up, then here's the place where you would add that pop-up. Just like in the funnels editor, you can customize it. So let's make it appear after 8 seconds. And now every time someone visits any of my pages or posts, they will see this pop-up. So let's check if it's working. Let's go to Pages and click on our homepage by using the 3-dot menu. Let's click on View. And now for 8 seconds, we should see the pop-up, and there it is. Now let's go back to our blog's layout. So usually in the blog layout, we have a menu, and this menu contains items that redirect to pages on our blog. So if you click on the menu element, you'll see the settings on the left. And as you can see, each of the pages is set to redirect to a blog link and then the specific page. But if you wanted one of the menu items to redirect to another page, you can just click here on Add Custom URL and then type the link that you want that element to redirect to. It can be any page. For instance, you could redirect to one of your pages within your funnels, or if you want to have an offer tab, you can link to a sales page. So now that we went over the blog layout editor, we also find the post layout right here. This is basically the same as the blog layout. The difference is that whatever you decide to add or design here will be added only across your posts and not across all your blog pages. So as you can see, the menu right here on the top, we cannot customize this here because this is part of the blog layout, not the post layout. And therefore, it looks like that across the whole blog. The same thing goes for the footer. You will not be able to customize this on the post layout editor, only on the blog layout. The elements that you see here are all the usual elements that you would need for a blog post. So an image, a title, and they're all customizable. You can remove things, move things around, add more elements, and make it your own. Think of this as your blog post template. So whatever you add here will be seen by your visitors across all your blog posts. Let's take a look at how it would look like. So let's go to the Post tab and check on the first one. And as you can see here, we have this menu, which we added with the blog layout, and then these other elements, which are set with the post layout. Here's the title, the image, and then here's the actual content of the post we are visiting. Now we need to add content to our blog. So we start with pages. When choosing any template in System.io, you will get several pages and posts immediately created for you. But of course, you will need to customize the pages to your convenience. It really depends on the type of content that you want in your blog. Usually, the most common pages that everyone has on their blog are this right here. So the homepage, of course, that's your main page and the first page that your visitors will see. The post list page, where users present the posts that they've created. The contact page, where you would put all the information required to reach you or your team. And the about page, which is where you would talk about yourself, your business, and your story. If we go into our 3-dot menu here, you'll see we have many options for each page. First of all, we can click on the View button in order to see the page. So if we click here, we'll see the About page that was created by default. Then we can edit the page. So if we click here, we can access the editor of the page, where you can remove, add, and customize the elements as you please. The editor, as you can see, is very similar to our funnels editor, where you can just drag and drop whatever you need. You can also duplicate the page by clicking here, so you will get an exact copy of the page. We also have the option Don't Use Block Layout. So we would click on this one and confirm. Then the elements that we have on the block layout, remember these are the elements that are shown across all blog pages, will not be shown here. Now let's see what that looks like. So if we visit the page, we no longer see the menu or the footer. And that is because we decided not to use the block layout for this page. Then we have the settings button. Here you can change the name of your page and also customize the link to the page. So here you can change the URL path to one that best describes the page that you're editing. Finally, we have the option to remove it. So you would just click here and confirm if you wanted to remove the page from your page list. Now let's take a look at the contacts page. So the contact page always has a form where you can send a message to the owner of the blog. And there's actually a special element for this. When we go into the editor page, we'll find here the Contact Us element, and this is the one that you would use in order to give your blog visitors the possibility to contact you. You will receive these messages in the mailbox of the email that you used for your account. And now let's take a look at the homepage. Usually this is the first page of your blog, so you might want to summarize here what your visitors can expect from your blog. And finally, we have the post list page, which is exactly what it sounds like. Here we can find all the posts that you've created in their respective categories. You can customize this page to show all categories or only specific categories. And something important to note is that posts appear here in chronological order, so according to the date that they were published. Whenever you publish a new post, it will always appear in the beginning, so it will be the first post that appears on the list. And this is actually also a special element that is found in the Pages editor. It's called blog post listing. So when you put it on a page, it will show the posts automatically. And here we have many options, like for example, we can choose the categories that we want to show on the page. For instance, I can choose to show only category 2. And now if I check the page again, we'll see only the post for the second category. We also have an interesting element here, which is the latest blog post element. And when you add this element, it will only show the last post that you published. Now let's go back to our page list. In order for these pages to be shown across your blog, you would use the menu found in the blog layout. So let's click on blog layout here, and this is where you would write your page names and link each one. So for example, here the home item redirects to the home page, the articles item redirects to the post list page, and so on. Now let's talk about posts. We can create posts here, and we just click on post, and we'll see the list of all of our posts. And to create a new one, you just need to click on create, and here you would just have to fill out this form. So starting with a title, then a short description of your post, and here you can customize the link to your post. And if you wanted to add an image to your post, then you would do that here as well. This image would show on pages with list of posts. Then you can choose the category for the post. You can choose 1 or 2 categories or all of them. And finally, just click on save. Now that the posts have been created, you can see we have the categories here, but the status is inactive. So it's not a green check mark yet because it has not been published. So if we go to our post list page, we wouldn't be able to see the post there either. In order to change the status to active and see it in our post list page, you would just go to the post 3-dot menu right here and click on activate and confirm. Now, if we check the post list page again, we would see the post there. So here it is, the post example. The description we wrote was test post, and we didn't add an image, so that's why there's no image here. But if we added an image, then it would appear here. Now let's go back and check the categories. When you click on categories, you will see the list of all of the categories that you've created, and you can add a new category from here. So we just write the name of the category. For example, let's write category 4. Let's add a description. And there's also a space for an SEO title and SEO description. And this information is necessary for search engines to show your content the most accurate way possible. This is what's known as metadata and is often what's used for search results. But if you don't fill it out, then the regular title and description will be used. Then you just have to click on save and the category will be created here. Once you create a category, you can create new posts in the post list and add it to the new one or to all of them if it's relevant to more than one. You can also add categories to a post even after it's created. You would just go to the settings of that post, so the 3-dot menu, click on settings, and add the categories here. Now let's continue with the other buttons that we find here. So we already talked about the blog layout button. So right next to it, we have the view blog button. And here you would click on it if you wanted to see your blog's homepage. That's where you will be redirected. We also have the blog settings button. You will use it if you want to change your blog's name, domain, language, and URL path for your homepage. And remember we showed you how to link to external pages with the blog layout menu? Let's see how that would look like by creating an item that redirects to one of our funnel pages. So we go to the menu, and then we add a new item. For example, let's call it offers. And then here you would choose custom URL. Then we would just have to go to get the link for the page that we wanted to use. For example, we're using a page from one of our funnels. So we go to that page, click on the link, and then go back to the blog layout and add the link there. Now, whenever someone clicks on that item, they will be redirected to the page in my funnel where I have my offers in this case. So your blog really acts as a regular website. If you didn't actually want to write a blog post, you could use it as your main website for your products and services. Now let's review the options we have in our blog list. These 3-dot menus are very similar across our different features. So the first option is view, and this takes you to your blog's homepage. Then we have duplicate, which creates a new copy of your blog. We can also share the blog. So just like with funnels, you will get a share link that you will be able to send to other SystemeIO users, and they will get an exact copy of your blog in their account. And it also serves as an affiliate link. We also have the settings button, and that's where you can change your blog's name, domain, homepage link, and language. And finally, we have the remove button. In case you no longer need the vlog or just want to delete it, just click here and it will be permanently removed. In this video, we'll explore the fascinating world of automations in System.io. You'll learn how this powerful tool works to streamline your business processes and save you time and effort. So we have two automation options here in System.io. We have automation roles and we also have workflows. Let's start with automation roles. So when you click here, you will find the list of automations that you've created. You can create your roles here, or you can create them in your funnels. Remember, when you go to your funnels and go to any of your funnel pages, you'll see a smaller automation tab. Here you can add rules as well. So just select your trigger, then select your action and save your role. So even if you create your automation role here, you will see it in the main automations list. Now let's see how to create rules in the main automations tab. It's really easy. You just click on create, then choose your trigger, and then choose the action. Triggers are really important when creating your automation because they are what needs to happen in order for the action to take place. So the first one we have here is tag added. For example, you can choose the action to be send an email right after a tag is added. Here you'll be able to choose an email from the list, or you can create a new one by clicking here on the plus button. You can also edit an existing email, so we can select the email from the drop-down menu, and then we click on the pencil icon to edit it. So to summarize what we did here, if we choose the tag added trigger and choose one of the tags like tag example 1, it means that when a contact gets this tag, they will automatically receive the email you selected in the action. Of course, you would need to save the rule, so I would just click here, and then the rule will be added to the list. Now let's go ahead and explore the other triggers. Here we have the trigger tag removed. So here you'll choose the tag that you want to remove, and then once this tag is removed from your contacts, then you can choose an action for it. So maybe let's say someone canceled a subscription, you could send maybe an offboarding or goodbye email with an automation. We also have the trigger funnel step form subscribed, where you would need to choose the funnel and the exact page from that funnel where someone subscribed. Usually new contacts or subscribers come from squeeze pages, which if you remember are the pages with forms. So if someone subscribes using one of these forms in our funnel page, then we can choose an automatic action to follow, like sending an email. This automation is perfect for welcoming new subscribers and start warming them up for your offer and follow-up emails. We then find the trigger block form subscribe, and it's pretty much the same thing as the previous trigger, but this one is for your System.io blogs instead of funnels. So if you have a pop-up form in one of your blogs, you would choose your blog here and then choose the page that has the pop-up or your form. And then when someone subscribes using that form, you can choose an action to happen automatically right after that, like sending an email again. Moving on, we now have the trigger campaign completed. And when we say a campaign is completed, we mean that the contact received all the emails within an email campaign. And then once this happens, you can add an action like unsubscribe from the campaign, so they no longer receive the emails from that specific campaign. Next, we have a really useful trigger for those who use our webinar feature, and that is the trigger register to webinar. So this one is a trigger that you would only use for your webinar funnels, and you would choose the funnel and then the page, which is usually your registration page. That's the one that has the form. Once the person registers, you can set an automatic action or rule to happen right after, like again, sending an email or adding a tag or any other action from the list. Now we have the trigger to enroll in course, and this means someone got access to one of your training courses. Once you choose this trigger, you'll see a list containing all of your courses. You choose the one you need and then select an action for it. For example, you can send an email welcoming your new students, and you can do the same thing for course bundles. So you would just need to choose your bundle and select your action. Then we have to trigger a new sale. So whenever someone buys an offer from you, it could be any offer from an order form or an upsell or maybe a downsell. You can choose an action for it. You just have to choose your funnel, then choose the page of that funnel, and then choose your action. So for instance, you could tag them as a customer, or you could unsubscribe them from a campaign since they already bought something. Up next, we have the trigger sale canceled. So this trigger works only for offers that are sold with either a one-shot or one-time payment or a subscription price plan. So if a sale is refunded, the system will interpret this as a sale being canceled. And the same goes for a subscription. So if you go ahead and cancel a subscription, it also means the sale is canceled. Then just choose your action, maybe removing a tag because they are no longer a customer or are no longer enrolled. And now we have the trigger email link clicked. This trigger can be used only for emails that contain a link. So when someone receives an email with a link and clicks on it, you can automatically do something about it. It's a great idea to tag contacts who click on your email links because this means that they're interested in whatever you're sending them. So you might want to nurture them even more. So for this one, you choose one of your existing emails from the list, whether it's an automatic email, an email that you created before, a newsletter, or an email from an email campaign. But you must make sure that the email contains a link. Finally, we have the trigger page visited. So we can use this trigger when we want to have an action for someone who visits one of our pages from our funnels, but not just any page. This trigger works for pages that contain forms. So for example, squeeze pages or sometimes sales pages have forms as well. It can also be used for order form pages because order forms also collect your customer's information. So when used correctly, you'll be able to set an action after someone visits your page. For example, you can send an email to a specific address. You can use this option as your own personal notification. So if you put your email address here, you will receive this email when the trigger is set off. You can add the information of the contact, like their email, name, and phone number with the substitutes. So each time someone sets off a trigger, you'll receive an email in your inbox or whatever email you choose here. And now let's go to actions. So we have the action enroll in course. When we select this, we just need to select the training course and then the type of access that we want to give to that course. So either full access or drip the content. And then access will be given automatically to that course. Finally, we have the send webhook action. And I can choose this action if I want to send a webhook from system to another platform on another app. You would just need to put the webhook here, and then the webhook will be sent automatically to that destination. To finish setting up your rule, you would just click Save Rule, and then the rule is added and working. And going back to our automations list, you'll see that we have a search bar here with a few filters. So if you're looking for a specific rule, because trust me, this list can grow fast when you discover the power of automations, then these filters come really handy. You can search by trigger type, action type, or status. So that means if they're active or inactive. In order to deactivate an automation rule, you just click on the three-dot menu of the rule that you want to deactivate, then click on Edit, and then right here at the bottom, you click on Disable Rule. So it no longer works, but it's not deleted. You would still be able to find it in the inactive list. We can also edit that rule again and enable the rule for it to start working again. Now that we learned how automation rules work, let's check out our second type of automation, which are workflows. Remember, the goal for both rules and workflows is the same, which is to automate our processes as much as possible. But workflows are a little different from rules. One could argue automation rules are simpler in the sense that you have a trigger and an action, and you know that if a trigger is set off, then the action follows automatically, like action-reaction. On the other hand, you can think of workflows more as a sequence of events or a sequence of automations. Now, in order to start using workflows, of course, we need to create a new one. Then just add the name for your workflow and save it. The workflow space has been created, and now it's time to start adding triggers and actions. A workflow always starts with a trigger. You can start with just one trigger or several triggers. The options for these triggers are the same as the ones we had for automation rules. So we have triggers tag added, tag removed, funnel form subscribed, blog page form subscribed, campaign completed, register to webinar, enrolled in course bundle, and for example, let's use funnel form subscribed. So here, of course, we must choose the squeeze page or sales page or any page that contains a form in one of our funnels. After creating this trigger, then I can choose to add another first trigger. You can choose tag added or tag removed or really any other trigger from the list. After adding your first trigger or triggers, now we have a plus button right here that we're going to click, and then a pop-up will show up with different options. The first option is to add an action. This means an action will happen right after our trigger is set off. Or we can go with adding a decision. A decision means we're splitting the path of an action. The system will check your settings and your criteria in order for an action to take place or to happen. And finally, we can choose to add a delay. And this is the time that will pass in order for an action or a decision to take place. For example, let's start with action. Here, I will add a tag automatically as soon as someone subscribes. So I will add this action, and now, according to my workflow, once someone subscribes using this page, a tag will be added to their contact immediately after that. You can also choose to add another action, for example, sending an email. You can select an email from the list if it's an email that you've already created before, or you can create a new one by clicking here. You could also choose an email that you wrote in the past and use it as it is, or you can choose one and edit it if you want to make some changes to it before adding it to the workflow. Now the email has been created, and this means that after subscribing to one of the forms in one of my pages, the subscriber will automatically get a tag, and also they will receive an email. Now after this, maybe you might want to add a delay. So for example, let's add a 1-day delay. And then we can go ahead and add another action, like subscribing the contact to an email campaign. So let's review our workflow. When someone subscribes using the form on my funnel page, they will automatically get a tag and receive an email. And then one day after this happens, they will be subscribed to an email campaign and start receiving the emails for that specific campaign. Now let's imagine that within this email campaign, we're actually selling something. So maybe we are including a link to a sales page or an order form. And within that order form page, we added an automation indicating that if someone buys something, they will get a tag. And let's say that the tag that they get is called 10 example 2. So this is an automation that we set up inside the funnel page. So we don't see that here in this workflow. But what we can do here is check and also decide what happens to those subscribers who get the tag. So to those who actually purchase something. And we can do that by adding a decision. So let's say we wait one day after my contact is added to the campaign to make that decision. We get several options here to make a decision. So we can check the contact fields, tags, email clicked, created at, activity, or contact state. For this example, we want to check on a tag. So let's choose tag, and we want the option contact tagged with, and then we choose the tag that they're supposed to be tagged with, which for this example was tag example 2, meaning they purchased something. You could also add a second decision if you wanted two scenarios with different conditions to choose from. And then just click create, and our decision will be added to the workflow. This means that after subscribing the contact to the email campaign, the system will wait one day, and then it will check automatically if the contact has this tag or not. If they have the tag, that is a yes. It means the contact made a purchase. If they made a purchase, that means they don't really need to receive any more emails. So you might want to add an action to unsubscribe them from the campaign. But if after one day the system checks and they still don't have the tag, it means it will go to the no path, meaning they have not purchased anything yet. So we could add another delay, another 1 day delay, and then add the same decision so that the system can check again if they have the tag or if they purchased the offer. If it's a yes, then we can go ahead and unsubscribe them from the campaign. If not, then you might want to repeat the same delay and decision depending on how long your email campaign is. If your campaign is only 3 days long, like this one, then for the last decision, both the yes and no paths can lead to unsubscribing the contact from the campaign. And also, since this person went through the whole campaign and did not make a purchase, you could also add a final action to send them an email. So here it is. Here's the example workflow that we just created. Of course, this is only an example. There are really no limits as to the size or steps you can create with your workflows. There are tons of scenarios that you can automate here. It really depends on your business, your goals, and what you want to accomplish. They can be as simple or as complex as you want them to be. Don't feel overwhelmed by workflows if you're just starting out. At first, your workflow might have 1 or 2 steps, and as your business grows, you'll find the need to keep automating and making things even bigger. Now, if you want to activate and publish your workflow, all you need to do is exit the workflow and then go to the 3-dot menu and click on Activate. And let's look at the rest of the buttons here in the 3-dot menu. So the first one is the Settings button. Here you can change your workflow's name. And don't worry, because this name is only visible to you or your account managers. And we also have the Remove button. So if you decided you no longer need it or want it there, you can just remove it permanently. Keep in mind, if you decide to remove an active workflow, your contacts will be left on the last step that they went through before you deleted it. So it will not continue if they had any more steps to go through. Next, we will go over the Products tab. The first feature in the Products menu is Physical Products. So not only does SystemeIO allows you to sell digital products, but also tangible products. And to do so, you would just have to come here to this tab and create your products. So let's do that. The first step is to click on Create. This will open a form that you would have to fill out. And this is going to be all the information about your product. So starting out with the name of your product, here you would write the name of the product. For example, let's say I'm selling t-shirts. So I would just write t-shirt here, then add your product description. Then you would just type your SKU, which stands for stock keeping unit. But in this case, that is created automatically just by clicking on the field. Here you would add the tax rate percentage that you want to apply for the sales that you make on this physical product. And that depends on the country that you're located in and the commercial laws for your country. Let's just write 20% here. Then choose a currency. This currency here must match the same currency that you choose when creating a funnel for your physical product. Then add your price, for example, 10 euros. Next, for your media, you can add images for your product. These images will be displayed on the order form where your clients will buy your product. And to upload your images, you would just click here and add an image from your device. Select your image or images if you want more than one. And then right below, you'll see the little checkbox here. When enabled, you'll see the options menu. Here, you will be able to add all the variations and attributes for your product, such as size and color. For this example, since we are selling a t-shirt, let's make size our first option here. And we will add the sizes that we have available. So let's say small, medium, and large. Next, let's add another variation option. For example, color. You can add as many options as you'd like. It really depends on your product. Let's say we are offering this t-shirt in black, red, and white. Now for each option, I can add an image, and you can add an individual price for each variation. For example, let's say small sizes cost 8 euros, all medium sizes cost 10 euros, and all large size cost 11 euros. You don't really need to add individual prices if your price is the same for all of your variants, because remember, we already established the price in the beginning, and that's the price that will appear for each variant if you leave this blank. Finally, you can add individual images for your variants. So you just click here and choose the image of a white t-shirt, and this is the image that will be displayed when the customer chooses this option in the order form. Now let's do the same thing for the black one. Of course, you would need to add the images for all the other options so that you can make sure the images will appear for each option the customer chooses on the order form. And when you complete filling out all of the information, just click on save and your physical product will be created. Now, for you to sell your physical product, you must create a funnel for it. So just go to your funnel and then look for your order form step. Here, in Setup Digital Product, you're going to click on Physical Product. Then you will choose the physical product you want to sell. So you would just look for it here in the resource drop-down menu. And then we have to go into the editor for this page in order to add a very important element to the page, which is the product element. Just go into the editor and look for the element here on the left. It will be in the payment category and it's called physical product. Then just drag it and drop it here. And by doing this, your product images, variations, and prices will appear on your page. Now let's visit the page to see how it would look for one of our customers. So this is how it looks. As you can see, we have our images here. You can scroll through them, or they could select the option that they're interested in, and the image for that option would show up. Of course, the price will also change when I change the size. And here the customer can also choose the quantity, so they can buy more than one, and then just validate the payment from here. After you make a sale for your physical product, those orders will show up here in the Products tab Orders. You will see a list of your sales here, and you'll be able to access the date of the purchase, all the information related to the specific order, your customer's email address, and all the necessary information for you to successfully ship your product. Keep in mind, we don't offer any tracking and delivery tools. Our tools help you all the way until you collect the payment for your product, but all the tracking and delivery of the product is your responsibility. You can use external platforms that help you with this, and to make this easy, we recommend platforms like Zapier that can help you integrate and connect the apps that you use for tracking and delivery. Or you can do it manually. You can just create your shipping labels with the information you collected in your orders page and schedule a shipping company to pick up your product and send them to your customers. Back in your Products tab and right here under your orders, you'll find our coupons feature. You might want to use coupons if you want to give a discount to your customers for a particular product that you offer. Creating a coupon is super simple. Just click on Create and fill out the required information. First, write a name for your coupon so you can easily find it and identify it. Then type the code that you want your customers to use in order to get the discount. Then choose the discount type, so it can be a fixed amount or a percentage. It really depends on your discount strategy. And now since I chose percentage, I must also type the percentage amount. And let's make it 20% for this example. Additionally, you can choose an expiration date for your coupon. Let's say this coupon is just for a limited time only, so you can choose the expiration date here, and after this date, the coupon will not work anymore. For example, let's choose May 30th as the expiration date for this one. So this is the date my coupon will stop working. And now the last field is the limit of use, and this is like the inventory for your coupons. So how many of them are available to use? For example, if I put 10 here, it means that after being used 10 times, the coupon will no longer be available. So if someone tries to use it for an 11th time, it will not work for them. Now you just need to click save and the coupon will be added to the list and is active, as you can see. Now, if you don't want a coupon to be active anymore for any reason, you just need to come here to the list again, go to your coupon's three-dot menu and click on deactivate. Okay, so now that the coupon is created, let's see how to actually use it or link it to the products that you're offering. So the first thing you would do is choose a funnel where you're selling your offer and then add it to your order form. So let's open an order form here. And if I want my coupon to work here, I would just click on the plus button here right next to coupons, look for it on the list. We'll name it test. So here it is, and save. And then after that, there's another step to make sure that our coupon works. So we need to go into the editor of this page and then add the coupon element, which will allow the customer to write their coupon code. Let's look for the element right here on the left and drag and drop it right here. This way, when someone is about to check out, they'll be able to apply their coupon and get their discount. And finally, let's check if everything is working. So here's the full price for this offer. This is a physical product. So if I wanted to buy this t-shirt with a discount and I know a coupon code, that I would just type it right here. If I put a random word, it will not work. So it will say coupon not found. So let's just write the right word, which is test. Once I do that, the 20% discount is immediately applied, which was the amount that we set for our coupon. The last feature that we have in our products tab is our communities feature. This is super useful for users who want to have a place where they can share their interests with other people or their customers. To create a community, you would just click on create and fill out the form. Just give it a name, choose its domain. Here you can customize the URL path for your community. And then at the bottom, we have automatic post approval. When this is enabled, the members of your community will be able to publish posts without approval from the community's administrator. If it's disabled, then in order for a member to publish a post, it must first be approved by the administrator. Once you decide on that, just click on Save, and your community will be created. Here's a link to the community. If you wanted to copy and share it, maybe in an email or in your social media platforms, you can just click here, and it will be copied to your clipboard. Now let's see how things look inside our communities. The first thing that we'll see is our homepage. And here in the middle section is where you would see all of the published posts. If you or the account administrator wanted to add new members to this community, you would just have to click on the Members tab and then click on Invite New Members. This pop-up offers two options. The first one is writing the email of the person we want to invite and clicking Invite. By doing this, the person we invited will receive an email with the link to join the community, and by clicking on this link, they will be granted access to the community and will be able to start posting on it. And then the second one is to click on Copy Invitation link and share the link manually. Then, after adding your members, you should create topics, or even before adding your members. Topics are incredibly useful because they categorize the community's posts and make it easier for your members to find the ones that they're most interested in or the ones they need. Instead of scrolling through all kinds of different kinds of posts, they would just go straight to the topic that they're interested in. There are no limits to the number of topics that you can create. You can create as many as you want or need. Let's write example here, and then the URL path will be automatically filled with the exact same topic name, but you can customize it as well. Moving on to the Settings tab of our community, here we can edit the name of the community and the URL path, and we can even add a cover image. Just select the image you want, make sure it fits the right size. I'm just choosing this one for the purposes of the example. And then we can also choose the community type. So there are two community types we offer right now. The ones that are public, where anyone can view and join your community, or we have private communities, where only people who have received an invitation from the owner can join. Then if we scroll down a little bit more, you'll be able to edit whether you allow automatic posting or not. Remember, we actually chose these settings when we were first creating our community, but if you decide to change that, you can do that here. If we disable automatic posts, you or the owner of this community would have to approve posts first before they are published. And that takes us to the last tab that we have right here, which is the Pending Post tab. Whenever a member posts something and the automatic posting is disabled, you will be able to see the post here and then decide to approve it or decline its publishing. Now, in order to publish something, you or your members will click here on Add Post and then fill out the information for your post. You can add a cover image and then a title for your post. Again, the URL path is filled automatically. Then they can choose the topic of their post and finally write their content. Here for the content, you can use emojis and also upload images. Then just click on Add Post, and depending on the publishing settings, it will be published automatically or it will be pending approval. Now let's look at the post. Here you'll be able to see who created the post and of course its content. And if you look closely to the right of the post, there's a three-dot menu, and here you're going to see two options as creator of this post. You can either delete it or update it if you want to make any changes to it. Just click on the one you need and then confirm. As I mentioned before, access to the community can be given by the administrator by inviting members either with their email or manually sharing the link. But access to the community can also be sold as a resource in our funnels. So let's go to one of our funnels to see how that's done. In order to sell access to your community, just go to your funnel's order form, click on digital product, and then in the resources, click on community access, and then choose the community that you want to give access to from the list. And finally, just save it. This means that if someone buys from this order form, they will get access to the community we just created. For example, let's say we are selling a course in this order form. That means when someone buys the course or enrolls in the course, they will also gain access to the course community, or you can just sell it by itself. Right below the coupons button, you will find one of the most in-demand digital products in the online creator economy, which are courses. This is one of our main features here in SystemeIO. In fact, most of our users host their courses with our platform and sell them with our integrated files. To create a new course, just click on Add a new course and fill out your course information. So first, you would give your course a name or title, then add the name of the instructor. This could be you or whoever is teaching the lessons. Then choose a language for your course. After that, you can add a description if you want to further explain what the course is about. Then you would choose the domain for your course. So if you're new to the platform and have not connected a custom domain yet, you will see a subdomain like this one. But if you do have your own domain, you can connect it to your System.io account, and then it will show up here on this list. After that, you can customize the URL path for your course. You can use your course name or whatever path you feel is best for your course's homepage. Then we get to the more visual part of the course. You will be asked to select a theme, and this is the color that your students will see predominantly when they go through the lessons. So let's choose green, for example. You can choose a color that best fits your brand, and then you can choose a font that will be used across all the different text sections of your course. Don't worry too much about this font because you can edit each lesson's space and change the fonts there as well. Next, you will be asked to upload a logo, and this is the logo that your students will see when they access the course, and it will be located in the top left corner of their menu. And then for the cover, this one will be displayed on their student dashboard. And then if we scroll down a little bit more, we will find a very important part of the initial settings, which is the sales page. And this is the place where you would choose the page within System.io that actually is selling your course. So this is a page inside one of your funnels, and it's really important because remember we have this link. If someone uses this link and they are not enrolled or registered to your course, they'll be prompted with a button to buy the course, and the URL on this button will redirect them to the sales page that you choose here. After that, there's this little checkbox where you can decide either to show or hide your module's titles. That really depends on you, but we recommend showing them if that is something that will help your students. At the very bottom, you will find a space to add a code on the footer of your course. You can use it to add a Facebook pixel or any other type of tracking. After all of this is filled out, just click on Save and your course will be created. When you first create your course, it will appear inactive. In order to activate it, just go to the three-dot menu, click on Activate and Confirm. Once activated, if someone has access to it, they will be able to see it in their student dashboard. Now let's take a look inside the course. Courses are made up of modules, and modules contain lectures. So let's start by adding a module and call it Module 1. You can name it however you want. And then if you expand that module, you'll have the option to start adding lectures or lessons to it. You will see a pop-up where you will name your lecture and choose a template for it. Right now we have 3 options to choose from, but keep in mind you can edit them completely later on. Then click on Save and keep adding your other lectures. Then you can add another module, for instance, with more lectures, and you can make it as long as you want depending on your course topic. As you can see, even though the course is active, the individual lectures are not active. So once you are done editing the content and you want them to be available to your students, again, go to the three-dot menu and click Activate. So now that I activated all of the lectures, let's see how it looks. Just click on the eye icon to preview, and this is how it looks. This is where you'll see the instructor's name and picture. This profile picture is actually added in the account settings. Now here's the logo that we added in the beginning. And of course, our green theme is all around. In order to move through the lessons, your students can click directly on the one they want here on the left, and they'll be able to see the content of those lectures. Now to add content to the lectures, just click on it, and it will take you directly to the editor. This editor is very similar to our funnel editor and works exactly the same way. You would just drag and drop the elements that you need. Once you're happy with your design, you can save the changes and exit. Remember, you can also save blocks here, so you can use them across all your lectures without having to create them one by one on each one. Now let's talk about delays. So we can actually add delays for each lecture. You would use this if you want to give access to your course, but not to all the lectures at the same time. Maybe you pre-sold your course and you're still building it, so you want to give access to a new lecture every 7 days. Or maybe you just want your students to go at the same pace. So to do that, just go to the settings of the lecture and add your delay. Let's say that's going to be 7 days. This means when the students access the course, they will have immediate access to the first lecture, and then after 7 days, they will be able to see the second one. And if we add another delay here for the next module, let's say 5 days, that means they'll get access to the first lecture of the second module 5 days after the last one. There's something very important to note here, and that is that in order for these delays to work, you must choose to drip your content when selecting your course's access type. This is selected in the order form settings of the funnel where you'll be selling the course. If you don't choose drip, but instead leave it as full access, then these delays that you add here will not work. Another important aspect to remember is that delays always depend on the previous step. This means that the 7 days that we put here will start counting from the day the student accessed the first lecture, and then the 5 days that we put here means it's 5 days after getting access to the last lecture, which was this second one. Now, there are actually 2 ways for your students to access your course. The first one is buying your course, and the second one is for you to manually add them and grant access to the course. To do it manually, you would just click here on Add Student, and then you would add your student's name, last name, email address, and access type. Since we added delays for our lectures, then we must choose to drip the content if we want the delays to work. If not, we can either grant them full access or partial access. For partial access, you can actually choose which modules to give access to, and then click on Save. Here's the student dashboard as your students will see it. So these are the courses that they are enrolled in. This first one is an example course we just created, and to access the course, we just have to click on Open. As you can see, it's only showing the first lecture because we previously chose to drip the content, so they will have to wait a few days to see the second one. Now, at the end of this lecture, your students will be able to mark it as complete, and that's how progress is tracked. So as you can see, since it's only one lecture, once I mark it as complete, the progress bar goes immediately to 100. Now let's go back to the course and explore the settings button. When you click on this button, you will be able to see all the initial settings that you decided on upon creating the course, and change them or modify them if you need to. We can also see more options in the 3-dot menu of each module. So you're able to add a quiz to the module, you can access the module settings, or remove the module completely. Let's take a look at the quiz feature. So our quizzes are a way for you to evaluate students' knowledge, and they must be passed in order for your student to be able to move on to the next module. You would click here to create a new one, and then start adding your questions. These are multiple choice questions, so you must provide the answer options as well. So let's create 2 options, and for this second option, I will check this box here, which indicates this is the correct answer. So I'll add a couple more questions for this example. You can add as many questions as you like, and once you're done, just click on Activate Quiz and confirm. Now let's see if it's working, so let's go back to the course and preview the course as a student. Now my student will be able to see each lecture, then they would have to mark each one as complete, and then they will see the quiz for the module. Here are the 2 example questions we just created with the answer options. Now let's choose our answers and submit them. Now apparently I chose 1 correct answer and 1 wrong answer, giving me a 50% score, which was not enough to pass the quiz, meaning I failed. But I can choose to retake the quiz, select the right answers, and pass it. Once passed, we can click here and see our results. So this is what the student would see, but from the administrator's end, it's a little different. So let's go back to the module's 3-dot menu, click on Quiz, and then click here to view the results. Then you would see the list of students who have taken the quiz. To see their results, just click on their name, and then you'll access their quiz stats. So you can see how many times they took the quiz and the results for each attempt. Now let's go back and see the second option in this module's 3-dot menu, which is the settings. Here you can change the module's name, and there's also an option to associate a page or funnel page to this specific module. You can use this option whenever you are giving partial access to your course or you're selling individual modules. Once you add a page to one of your modules, students who only have access to one of your modules will be able to click a button that will redirect them to the page you chose here so they can buy the module. This page in most cases should be either an order form or a sales page for the module that you're selling. The third option in the menu is to remove the module. This action will delete the module and its lessons completely. Once you confirm, you cannot change your mind. Now let's see the options that we have for the lectures. The first option is to deactivate the lecture. What this does is to make the lecture no longer accessible for your students. It does not delete it, but your students won't see it anymore. The second option is to edit the lecture, and this will take you to the editor. It's the same as clicking on the lecture name. The third option is to view the lecture. It will take you to the lecture dashboard and you'll see what your students see. And then we have the settings for the lecture. Here you'll be able to change the name of the lecture and add a delay in case you decided to drip your lectures. After settings, we have the option to create a drip access email. This email will be sent to your students once they receive access to a lecture, but keep in mind this will only work for students who have a drip access type. Once you click here, you will be redirected to the editor where you can draft your email, letting your students know that they now have access to a new lecture. After creating this email for the lecture, instead of having the option to create an email, it will change to edit the drip email. Moving on to the next option, we have the duplicate button. So with this one, you just make an exact copy of the lecture. And then the last option we have here is to remove the lecture. So if you click here and confirm, this lecture will be removed permanently. Now let's go back to the course list to review a few more options that we have for each course. So upon opening the course's three-dot menu, you will see a list with 7 options. And you'll soon get familiar with the options in the three-dot menu for each feature. They're pretty similar. So the first one, as you saw before, is to view the course, and we can preview the course as a student. Then below the view button, we find the curriculum button. And if you click here, you'll be able to access the space where you can add more modules and lectures. Then we have the settings button, where you'll be able to modify the information that you added when you first created the course. After that, we have the share button. This will open a pop-up with a link to share the course with other SystemeIO users. Once they click on the link, they will get an exact copy of the course in their SystemeIO account. And just like with the funnel share link, this also works as an affiliate link, meaning that you can share it with someone who's not a SystemeIO user, and if they sign up using that link and buy a subscription or any of our offers, you will get a commission. We also have the option to duplicate the course. So by clicking here, we can make an exact copy. Then the second to last option we have here is to deactivate the course. By clicking here, the course will not be removed, but instead it will no longer be available for your students. Whenever you are ready to activate the course again, just go to the menu and click on Activate. Finally, we have the Remove button, and this option will remove the course permanently, meaning that neither you nor your students will be able to access or see it anymore. Now, in order for students to see the course, they can access it via their student dashboard or the link that was sent to them in an email when they bought the course, or we can share the link to the course. If they haven't bought the course, they will see a page like this, and as I mentioned before, they will see the Buy button. If you remember from before, we actually selected the page where this button redirects you in the course settings, usually an order form where they can buy it directly. In System.io, users can create training courses and sell them. But if you're a course creator, you might want to sell several courses together. And this is what our course bundle feature is for. To create a course bundle, just head to the Products tab and click Course Bundles. In a nutshell, course bundled content is a way to group multiple courses together that can be sold together at one price. Keep in mind that this bundled content is sold usually at a discounted price from the combined price of the individual courses as a way to encourage sales. Now, a course bundle in System.io can contain 2 or more training courses. And to create a bundle, you just click on Create, give it a name, and save it. And now that it has been created, we just need to add the courses inside. So just click on Add Course and select the courses that you want to add from the list. Of course, in order to see courses here, it would need to be created beforehand. So let's choose the first one, and then let's go for the second one. And here you can see they've been added to the course bundle. Now we can add delays to the courses inside our bundles, meaning we can decide on a period of time before our students get access to the courses inside the bundle. To do this, just go to the three-dot menu, click on Settings, and add the number of days you would like the system to wait before giving access to this specific course in the bundle. Since I added a 5-day delay to the second course, it means if someone buys or gets access to the bundle, they will immediately get access to the first course and will wait 5 days to get access to the second one. Something to note here is that when you are setting up your bundle inside your funnels order form, you must choose to drip the content in order for this delay to work. Otherwise, if you choose full access, then the delay won't work. So let's go to our funnels to see how course bundles are sold. Just click on the funnel where you will sell it, then go to your order form, select digital product, and choose the course bundle from the resources list. Once you do that, just look for the course bundle you want to sell, and then go ahead and choose the access type. So remember, if you want your courses inside the bundle to have a delay, choose drip. Since we actually want a 5-day delay, I'll choose drip content, and then you can choose the order in which your courses are accessed. So you can choose to give them in the order you added them to the bundle. In this case, you would choose from the start or manually select the one you would like to give access to first. Now let's take a look at the options we have for a course bundle. So if you open your bundle's three-dot menu, the first option is to view the bundle. By clicking on it, you'll open it, and then you can edit the content of your bundle. You can add more courses or remove courses. Next, we can deactivate the bundle. And if we do this, your student will no longer have access to the bundle. So make sure that you let them know beforehand. Then for your settings, you can change the bundle's name. Keep in mind, this name is only visible to you or the owner of the account. And finally, we have the remove button. So you would use this if you want to completely remove the bundle, you don't want it there anymore, just confirmed, and it will be removed. Now let's talk about student lists. This is the option right below course bundles in the products tab. You would come here to see all the students who are enrolled in at least one of your courses. So as you can see, let's pretend this one is one of my students. So I'm able to see their name, their email, the progress with the course that they enrolled in, and the last date and time they logged in or engaged with the course. Then, if you want even more information on a specific student, just click on their email and you will see the list of courses the student is currently enrolled in. You will also see the status of the course and the access type. Then, if we go to the three-dot menu, we get two options. The first one is to dismiss or remove the student's access to the course. So if you click here, they will lose their access completely. But if for some reason you want to give the access back, you would just go to the menu again and click on Reactivate and Confirm. By reactivating their access, they will receive an email where they can log back in. You can also resend the access email at any point in time. This email is sent automatically upon enrollment, but if for some reason they don't get it or lost it, you can send it again here easily. You can also use the options right here to give manual access to more courses or course bundles. So you would choose the course that you want to give access to here, and then choose the access type and click Add. And the same goes for bundles. If you wanted to add a specific student to a bundle, you would just look for it here and click on Add. There's another resource that we have here, and that is being able to download the session log history of your students. This is a really valuable resource because you can see more detailed information about your students' activity. The way you would do this is by going to your course settings and activating the option to export this file. Once the option is enabled, it will appear right here, and you would be able to download the spreadsheet. Upon opening the spreadsheet, you'll access information like the time your students spent on each lecture and module. When you go to our sales tab, you'll find 4 options: transactions, subscriptions, affiliate invoices, and my affiliate program. Let's start with transactions. On this page, you will find the payments made by your customers through your funnel's order forms. In this list, you'll be able to see the date and time of the transaction, along with the name and email of your customer. If you click on either of those, you'll be redirected to the contact page that will contain the rest of your customer's information. You can also see the name of the offer that was bought, and that offer is actually clickable. So if you click on it, you'll be redirected to the funnel that contains the order form you used to sell it. Additionally, you'll see the total amount paid by the customer, and at the very end, you'll see a 3-dot menu for each transaction where you'll have several options, like manually sending an invoice for the transaction to your customer, viewing the invoice, downloading it, and also refunding the payment. Now let's check out the filters here on the left. These filters help you find specific transactions more easily. You can search by email, price plan, type of transaction, whether it's a sell or a refund, and finally, you can also filter by date. Now let's go ahead and open the second option in the sales tab, which is subscriptions. Just like transactions, you would go to this page to look for a list of customers who are currently subscribed to one of your offers. You'll see your customer's name here, and when you click on it, you'll be able to see the funnel that contains the order form where they subscribed. Each item or each subscription will have its own 3-dot menu where you'll find the option to cancel their subscription. When canceling a subscription, you'll have 2 options. The first one is to cancel the subscription immediately, and what this will do is revoke all the resources included in their offer instantly. Or the second option is to cancel the subscription on the next payment date, meaning that your customer will continue to have access to the resources of their subscription up to their renewal date. So they'll lose access right before the subscription gets renewed. For example, let's say this is a monthly subscription. If we choose to cancel it on the next payment date, that means the subscription will be canceled next month right before the payment date. We can also find filters here on the subscription page. You can search by email and you can search by status. So there are 3 status options. The first one is active, meaning the customer is still paying. Then we have canceled, which means the customer is no longer paying for their subscription. and then completed, which is for customers who paid for their subscription through a payment plan. There's also an option to search by the type of price plan that was used. Now let's check out the affiliate invoices page. These pages are all very similar in regards to the menus and options that you'll find. This page would be useful for those of you who have an affiliate program, so you can keep track of the invoices and payments to your affiliates. Affiliate invoices are generated automatically by SystemeIO, and they are always generated on the 10th of each month, but they also depend on the conditions that you establish for your affiliate program. Once the affiliate invoice is generated, you'll be able to see it here on the list, and you'll be able to see the invoice number, the amount that is due to pay out to your affiliates, and the payment method chosen by your affiliate in order to get their commissions. Right now, they can choose to get paid with PayPal or via wire transfer. Keep in mind that if they choose a wire transfer, they can choose any international bank in order to get paid. And finally, you'll be able to see the status of the invoice. So when first generated, the invoice will be marked as unpaid, but once the invoice is paid, you can mark it as paid manually. So you'll be able to see the invoices for your affiliates here, but for your affiliate side, they'll be able to see their invoices in their affiliate dashboard. Now for the last option in the sales tab, we have my affiliate program. This is where you would go to see all the information regarding the affiliates who are promoting your offers. So you can go ahead and choose a period of time and see all the activity from your affiliates. The first number that you'll see right here is the amount of sales you've made through your affiliates, as well as the number of new leads that affiliates have sent your way, and finally the amount that you've paid in commissions to your affiliates. Then right here, you'll see the list of your affiliates. You can see their email addresses and also the amount that they'll be paid and the number of leads that each of them has sent your way. Then if we scroll down a little bit to the bottom, you'll see the commission structures. These are basically shortcuts to the order form, sales pages, upsells, downsells, or any other funnel page where you're selling an offer and decided to have an affiliate program for them. So instead of having to go to each one of them and edit the rate and commission, you can quickly do that here. So here you can choose the payout delay and the commission percentage that they will receive whenever they bring in a new client. Let's explore the different types of emails you can send from SystemeIO. With the built-in autoresponder, you can easily send emails to all your contacts. As you've seen throughout this training videos, SystemeIO offers a variety of email options such as automatic emails that can be sent using automation rules and workflows. And you can also find emails in the Emails tab of a webinar funnel. Additionally, SystemeIO allows you to send newsletters and email campaigns. So let's create a newsletter, which you'll find in your Emails tab. A newsletter is just a simple email that is sent once to your contacts according to their tag segmentation. So you need to make sure to add the tags accordingly as you add them so you can send them the newsletters. In order to create one, all you have to do is click Create, write an engaging subject, a sender name, so that's the name that you want your contacts to see when they're looking at who sent them this email. Then we get to the sender's email address, and it's super important to know that you cannot use any email address here. You can only use Google email addresses, so add Gmail addresses or professional email addresses, which are the ones connected to a custom domain name. As for the other email providers like Outlook, Yahoo, iCloud, Hotmail, you cannot use them here. And the reason for that is for us to make sure that you get the best deliverability possible. In other words, to prevent your emails from going to the spam folder or being flagged. Now we can choose between the visual editor and classic editor to draft our emails. The visual editor is an editor that looks like the one we have in our funnels, whereas the classic editor is just a simple editor when you can write the emails as just basic plain text. So here's a newsletter we just created. Now you can click on it in order to edit and send it. You can customize the sender, the subject, and the sender email address here. Here's where you would write the body of the email. You can write regular text, add an image, and even add videos here in the newsletter. We have some options here as well that you can use in order to change the basic format of the newsletter. You can also add attachments. You would just click here and upload the file that you want to attach. And then we find an option that you cannot find in other emails. You can only find it here in the newsletters. Let's say you don't want to send this newsletter to new subscribers because it may not be relevant to them yet. They're still new, so maybe they don't know what's going on. Then you would use this option. For example, if I put 7 days here, it means System won't send this newsletter to anyone who has registered in the past 7 days. In other words, only subscribers who registered over 7 days ago will receive it. Now, in order to choose the audience who will receive my newsletter, we need to make sure to include the correct tag. So let's include this tag as an example. This tag is called tag example 1. So any contact who has Tag example 1 will receive my newsletter when I send it. In the same way, we can also exclude tags, but sometimes subscribers can have 2 or more tags at the same time. It's possible that there's a contact who has this tag and this tag at the same time. And if this happens, we will give priority to the excluded tag, meaning that if a contact has both one included and one excluded tag, they will not receive the newsletter. Just like in the emails for the webinar funnel, we can add available substitutes to newsletters. Of course, you need to make sure that the information that I'll use here is the information that you already have for your contacts in order for it to be replaced. So if you want your emails to feel more personal by adding your contacts' first names, make sure all your contacts provided their name. Okay, to send a newsletter, you'll see 2 options here: save and schedule or save and send a test email. Sending a test email first is a great idea because you can make sure how things look in your inbox first and avoid any mistakes before sending it to all of your contacts. You will be asked to provide a test email address on your email settings so that you can receive test emails anytime you try and send a newsletter or an email campaign. And once you're absolutely certain everything is looking great, you can go ahead and click Save and Schedule Newsletter. You will see 3 options. So the first one is, again, the option to send a test email. Then we have an option to send the newsletter now, right at the end. So if I want to send it right now, I would just click here and confirm that the newsletter will be sent immediately. But you can also schedule the newsletter. So you can choose a date and a time to send it. Now, when you go back to the list of newsletters, we'll see that the newsletter has been scheduled. You're going to see the date and time when it's scheduled to be sent. And this yellow circle with a clock inside is a symbol that will let you know that this is a scheduled newsletter. If you don't see any information in the date sent column, that means the newsletter is still a draft. Now, as I showed you before, we can choose to send the newsletter immediately. So let's go back and send it immediately so you can see how it looks on the list. Now that the newsletter has been sent, you can see the symbol changed, and now it's a green circle with a check mark on it. Once a newsletter is sent, you cannot edit the newsletter or send it again. If you want to send the same one, you would have to duplicate it. You can do that in 2 ways. So you can click on it and you'll see a message on the top with the option to create a copy, and you will create a copy of the newsletter that has not been sent yet. Or you can go into the newsletter options. Just go on the 3 dots and you'll see a drop-down menu. Here you can edit the newsletter, which you can also do by clicking on the newsletter name. Then we have the schedule button. If you click here, you can choose the time and date for the newsletter to be sent. And we can also see the share button. By clicking on it, you will get a share link. So if I copy this link and send it to another SystemeIO user, they will get the same copy of my newsletter in their SystemeIO account. And just like the share funnel link, this link also works as an affiliate link. So if you send it to someone who's not yet a SystemeIO user and they sign up with this link and end up buying one of our paid plans or offers, then you'll get a commission. And finally, we have the duplicate button. So this is the second way to duplicate your newsletter. Now, you'll notice this drop-down menu is different for newsletters that have been sent already. The first difference is the stats button. You will click here if you want to see your newsletter's performance and other statistics. You will also find the Resend to Contacts Who Did Not Open button. This one is pretty self-explanatory. When you click this button, the newsletter will be sent again, but only to those contacts who did not open the newsletter the first time it was sent. This is a great tool to maximize your open rates and make the majority of your contacts receive the information that you're sharing. Now we're going to learn about email campaigns. Just like newsletters, email campaigns are also made up of individual emails. The difference is that campaigns are a coordinated set of individual emails that are sent across a specific period of time with one specific purpose. So while newsletters are more dispersed and don't necessarily follow a sequence, email campaigns do. And they're more powerful when it comes to selling passively and automating your business. In order to create an email campaign, we just go and click on Create, and then just write the name of your campaign. You could also write a description. You will be the only one who sees this information. Now that the email campaign is created, let's go inside and create the steps or emails that will make up this campaign. So let's add an email here. Write the sender's name, the sender's email address, the subject. Let's just write email 1. Of course, this is not an appropriate subject. Make sure to research subject line best practices for maximum engagement and open rates, but let's just go with email 1 for the purpose of this example. Now, you will see the same menu that you would get when creating a newsletter. You'll see the 2 options for editors, and since we previously chose the classic editor, let's go with visual editor this time. So here's our editor. It looks very similar to our funnel editor, almost the same. The content is right here in the middle, and on the left, we find all the elements that we can add to the email. The same way you customize your elements on the funnel editor, you can do that here. So just drag and drop whatever you want, and then once you're happy with everything, click on Save Changes and Exit. Now you would just need to save and publish your email. And once you click that, you'll see several options. The first one is to add a delay to your email. This means the time it will take for someone to receive the email after being subscribed to a campaign. So we can write 1 hour here. The second option is the order. So if we had several other emails in this campaign, you may want to use this option to select after which email this one we're creating will be sent. But since this is the first one for this campaign, we don't get to put it after any other email. Then you can also choose the time when the email will be sent. For example, here if we choose 1 a.m., this means that the email will be sent at a specific time, in this case at 1 a.m. You can also select the days of the week you want this email to be sent. For example, let's unselect Saturday and Sunday. This means this email won't be sent on these days. And once you're happy with your conditions, just click Publish. But let's go a little more in depth about this email settings. A big part of email campaign success is the timing for each individual email. So it's important for you to know how specific you can get with your campaign's timeline. First, we have delays. So as I mentioned before, if someone subscribes to an email and we have 1 hour here, that means they'll get the first email 1 hour after their subscription. But if I add another condition, it will add to the first condition. So if we write a specific time when the email should be sent, they will both be applied. In this case, not only will 1 hour pass, but also it will be sent at 1 a.m. And if we want to condition it even more, they will all be active at the same time. I unselected Saturday and Sunday. So if someone subscribes during the weekend, they would have to wait until Monday at 1 a.m. to receive this email. So every condition you decide to add here will be applied to your email. You don't have to activate all conditions at once. You can have only one, whatever is more convenient for your goal. Now let's add other emails to our campaign now. Just click on Add Email, and let's call it Email 2, and choose the classic editor this time. So write your content here, and then just click Save and Publish to add it to your email campaign. Now keep in mind, you can also just save it and not publish it. Let's say you're still working on it and you want to just have it there as a visual. You would just click Save, and you can see you have the yellow icon indicating this is not an active email, meaning it is not being sent out yet. So in this case, if someone subscribes to this email campaign, they will only get the first email, but not the second one. In order for them to receive the second one, you must publish it first. And to do that, you can use the buttons right here. So just click Publish, add the time settings. So let's say I choose a 1 hour delay, and this email comes after email 1. So now I have 2 emails in my email campaign. And as soon as someone subscribes to this campaign, they will receive the first email after 1 hour, and then the second email 1 hour after the previous one. Now let's add a third email, but for this one, let's make it a 30-minute delay. So if someone subscribes to my email campaign, they will wait 1 hour to see the first email, then an hour later, they'll get the second one, and 30 minutes after the second one, they'll get the third one, and so on. So now that all my emails are actively sending, we need to manage the contacts who are receiving these emails. There are 2 ways for contacts to be added to an email campaign, manually or automatically. To do it manually, you can just go to your contact list, select the contacts that you want to subscribe, go to More Actions, click on Subscribe to Campaign, and then select the campaign that you want to subscribe them to. You would also have to select the first step of your campaign or whatever step you want them to start at, and just click Subscribe. You'll be able to see those contacts here as they are subscribed and getting each email. If you add more emails to this campaign later on, the contacts who are already subscribed to this campaign will receive the new emails. These contacts will remain subscribed until you either unsubscribe them or they unsubscribe themselves. Now, for the automatic subscription, you would just have to do it through our automation rules or workflows. Let's use rules this time. So we just click here on Create New Rule. Let's add the action, which is Subscribe to Campaign. Then select the campaign you want your contacts to be subscribed to. And the most important part here is the trigger. So the trigger is something that must happen first in order for this action to take place. For example, if we choose the trigger Tag Added, this means every time a contact gets a tag or this specific tag, they will immediately be subscribed to this email campaign. And we can also do the opposite. So we can unsubscribe contacts automatically. Just choose the action Unsubscribe from Campaign, choose the campaign, and this way, whenever someone gets this tag, they will be automatically unsubscribed. Now let's go back to see what other options we have for email campaigns. So let's go through the 3 dots right here. The first one is to duplicate the campaign. Just click here and a second copy will be created. You can also share this campaign, and just like funnels and newsletters, you would get a shared link. And this way, when someone opens the link, they will get the exact same campaign in their SystemeIO account if they have one. If they don't, again, this link will act as an affiliate link. They'll be prompted with our sign up page, and once they do that, if they go ahead and purchase one of our paid plans or buy any resource from us, you will get a commission. Moving on, we have settings. So here you can rename your campaign and change your description. Remember that this is only for you to see, so your contacts cannot see this information. But this is useful to stay organized if you have many campaigns, or maybe you have a team and want them to know what this email campaign is for, or maybe you sell campaigns as templates and you want to give further instructions, so you can do that here. And finally, we have the remove option. So this just eliminates this campaign from your account completely. Now let's take a look at email statistics. In this tab, users can get a clear idea about their overall email performance. The first thing that you'll see here is the pool that your account was placed in, and this is actually a really important aspect to be aware of. Think of pools as categories that you are placed in based on your email statistics and time on the platform. So if you're new to the platform or have sent less than 500 emails, you'll be placed in the new user pool. This means the system will monitor closely the emails that you sent, and we do this to prevent spammers from using the platform and affect our users' deliverability rates. After the new user pool, we have other 4 pools or risk categories. Low risk, which is the best pool to be in, then the moderate risk pool, followed by the high risk pool, and then the lowest pool, which is the quarantine pool. You definitely don't want to be here. And you might be wondering what differences are between each pool or how it affects your account. So the lower the risk, the better email statistics you'll have. So the closer you are to the low risk pool, the better deliverability for your emails and overall fewer issues or delays when trying to contact your email subscribers. Now, in order to check the statistics, you would first select the period of time that you're interested in. So you'll see a calendar in the right-hand corner where you can select this time period. For example, from April 1st through April 20th, we have sent 4 emails from this account. And in the chart to the left, we have the average percentage of open emails, which for this account is 25%. We can also see we don't have any emails reported as spam, and we have a 75% average for bounced emails. Now, about the average percentage of open emails, this number gives you a clear idea of how engaged your contacts are with your emails. And we recommend that you strive to be always over 20%. And of course, the more your contacts open your emails, the higher your chances of keeping a good deliverability. Then we have the percentage of spam reports. And here we show the percentage of the contacts who marked or flagged your emails as spam. So if a contact received your email and then they flag it or mark it as spam, it means that they reported to their server that they don't want to receive that email or any more emails from you in the future. And then at the very end, we have the bounce percentage. This is the percentage of emails that couldn't reach the mailbox of your contacts, and this can happen for several reasons. Maybe your subscriber's email address is not valid or doesn't exist, or sometimes your email reaches a subscriber who has a full mailbox that can no longer accept more incoming emails, and sometimes it means that there are other technical issues that might need fixing, and that's why we have a dedicated team for email deliverability, and they're available to our users to address any questions or comments or problems that might arise in regards to this. Moving on to the last section of this page, we have this table, and this is where we'll find all the emails that have been sent from your account. So for example, for this account, I've sent a newsletter, an email campaign, and an automation email. And this is where we can see the individual statistics for each email. So let's click on this one. And as you can see, this newsletter was sent to 2 contacts and they both bounced. And the reason that these emails bounced was because these email addresses were actually made up. They don't actually exist, and that automatically makes for a bounce email. Now let's see the stats for the automation email. So for this one, I only sent it to 1 contact, and this contact opened the email. That's why we see a 100% open rate and 0% spam or bounce rates. As you can see, I also don't have any click rate because this email actually did not contain a link, so there was no link to click on. But if this email contained a link and my contact clicked on it, I would be able to see it here. You can actually add an automation rule for an action to be triggered if someone clicks on a link inside an email. This is great for adding tags to your warm leads because you know that if they clicked on a link, that means they're interested in whatever you were offering. The email statistic page is a page that you definitely want to be familiar with and keep an eye on as your business grows so you can make the proper adjustments and improvements. We truly recommend reading the articles that we have about deliverability and good email practices. Additionally, you should always keep your list as clean as possible to avoid having bounce emails. And remember that it's imperative for you to send emails only to contacts who have given their permission or approval to do so. This will not only give you higher engagement rates, but will prevent your emails being flagged as a spam. Next, we will explore System.io settings. Your settings are where you will set up all your preferences to run your account. On the left, you'll see each of the features where settings are available, starting with profile settings. Here's where you would add your personal information, like display name, your name, last name, country, city, and all other relevant profile information. Additionally, you'll be able to choose to have an individual or company profile. If you choose a company, then you'll fill out a couple more fields like your company's name, number, and tax number. The next tab is the account settings. Here's where you'll choose your time zone, date, and time formats. And this is important in order for your automations and deadlines to run according to your time and for everything to just run smoothly. Now, the third tab is My Plan. And here's where you can review the System.io plan that you currently have. And you can also upgrade to another plan if you need to. If you wanted to downgrade, then that's not possible to do from here. So what you can do is contact support and let them know. You can also toggle this button right here if you want to see the cost of annual subscriptions. And of course, you can see all the benefits from each plan, so you can compare which one best fits your needs. But this page also works to keep track of how many of the features that are offered in your plan you have used so far. As you can see here, the ones in red are features that have exceeded. So if you exceed your plan's available features and don't upgrade, then your account will be restricted. So make sure you're keeping track of what your account's limitations are. Moving on to the fourth option here, we have the payment gateways. This is where you'll be able to add the payment method that will be used to receive payments from your customers. We have several options to choose from. We wanted to make sure no matter where you are in the world, you'll be able to receive payments. So at the moment, you can connect your Stripe account, PayPal, Mercado Pago, Razorpay, Flutterwave, and Molly. Right below payment gateways, you'll find the Manage My Subscriptions tab. So here's where you would see any subscriptions that you have bought, whether it be a System.io subscription, like one of our monthly plans, or a subscription from another System.io user. You'll be able to see your renewal dates and also the option to cancel any subscription you might have. And once you do that, the subscription will be canceled right before the next renewal date. Next, we have the mailing settings, and this one is one of the most important settings to explore and make sure it's looking as perfect as possible. So at the top, you'll see this checkbox indicating that you want to use your own SendGrid API key. You would check this box if you have a SendGrid account that you want to use and connect to your System.io account. Now, if someone checks this box, that means that they'll be using SendGrid servers and IPs to send their emails. So once you check the box, you'll have a field to paste the API key that you will get from SendGrid. And after doing that, all emails will be sent from your SendGrid account. So you would be able to write your emails here and schedule your emails here, but they will be sent from SendGrid, and therefore we no longer have any responsibility in terms of deliverability of your emails. If you don't have or use SendGrid, then you don't have to do any of this. Just go ahead and uncheck the box and continue your setup here. Now, the first thing you want to add is the email address that you'll be using to send emails. Once you add your email address here, you will receive a confirmation email with a link that you must click in order to confirm that this is the email address that will be used. Keep in mind, not all email addresses can be used to send marketing emails here. You can choose either a Gmail address or a professional email address, meaning an email address associated with a domain name. If you want to use a professional email address, you must first add your domain here on this table. So if you have one, just go ahead and click here, then type your domain name followed by .com and save. Once saved, you will see the domain name right here, but the status will be pending until you authenticate it. To do that, just go to this icon right here under DNS settings, and you will be prompted with the authentication instructions. So you'll see a list of 3 CNAME records, and the system will ask you to add all of these records to the DNS zone of the platform that hosts your domain. Once you add this CNAME records to the DNS zone of your domain, the status will change from pending to verified. After being verified, you'll be able to use the email with the domain name that you just authenticated. This is a really good thing to do to achieve the best deliverability possible. Under the domain settings, you'll see a button where you can edit the confirmation email for double opt-in. So a double opt-in email is an extra step that confirms the decision when someone subscribes using one of our forms, inner squeeze pages, or sales pages. When double opt-in is enabled, contacts who subscribe to your list are added to your contacts, but they must confirm with the link sent to their email after their subscription. Otherwise, they'll be removed shortly after. So what this button does is allow us to edit the confirmation email that is sent to our new subscribers. You can change the text to whatever you want, but remember to always use this substitute, which is the confirmation link. Then under the double opt-in button, you can edit the sender email address, the sender name, how you want it to appear in your contacts inbox when you send them emails, and the test email address. This information here will be the default email settings you'll find whenever you are creating email newsletters or campaigns with System.io. But of course, you can change it manually each time as well. Next, we have a space where you can add a static footer that will be displayed across all your emails. There's also an option to show your affiliate link at the end of each email. So when this box is checked, there will be a small sentence at the end of your email stating that this email was sent with System.io, and it will contain a link, which is actually your affiliate link. In case one of your contacts clicks on it and signs up for System.io, then that sale or that contact will be attributed to you. And for the last mailing setting, we have the unsubscribed link text. So as you know, it's pretty standard practice for all your emails to contain a link where the contact can unsubscribe. And here's where you would edit the text. You can just leave it as it is or customize it and even change the language if you needed to. Now let's continue to our course setting. So this one is a really simple setting. You would come here if you are a course creator and you want to add a profile picture to appear in the instructor space or teacher space. Additionally, there's an option to store student sessions. If you want to keep track of your students, then you would have to enable that here. All right, for the next settings tab, we have the payment page settings, a really important one as well. The first option here is a checkbox that you would mark if you don't want VAT to be charged to your customers on your payment pages. So for digital products, the VAT percentage depends on the country of your customer. And for physical products, you must input the VAT percentage that will be charged to your customers. Now, the second option is the default currency that you want to use across all your funnels. Keep in mind that you'll be able to manually edit the currency of your funnels when you're creating them. But if you add it here, that will make things easier for you if you're planning on using the same currency across all your funnels. And then we have the terms and conditions that will be displayed in your order forms or payment pages. You can make changes to it if you find it necessary and add them to your pages via a pop-up or a page in your funnels. And now the turn is for our sales funnel settings. And again, this is a simple settings menu. You will see two options. The first one is to store UTM parameters. So you would check this box if you wanted to keep track and be able to download them or export them. And this is especially helpful if you are running paid ads or campaigns to promote your offers. And then here you can add a tracking code like a Facebook Pixel or Google Analytics. It would be a little tedious to add these codes one by one on every funnel page. So you can just add them here and they will be added to all of your pages. On to the next half of the settings tabs, we get to the affiliate program settings. So this tab is for users who want to set up their own affiliate programs using System.io, meaning you have offers that you'd like others to promote in exchange for commissions. The first field that you must fill out is the commission percentage you want your affiliates to earn. Then the second one is for your second tier affiliate commissions percentage. Second tier commissions mean that if your affiliates bring you a customer, then they get their commission. But if that customer also promotes the offer and makes a sale, they will also get a commission for the sales that their customers will bring in. Then we have the minimum payout amount. This is the amount your affiliates must reach in sales before they can start getting paid their commissions. Right next to it, we have the default payout delay, which is the time in days that affiliates will wait before they get paid. Once your affiliate meets all your conditions, their invoices will be generated automatically on the 10th of each month. On this field right here, you'll write the name that you want to show on the marketplace once you publish your offers there. This could be your name or your company name, whatever you want everyone who goes on the marketplace looking for offers to promote to see. And finally, for this section of the affiliate settings, you'll find these checkbox, which grants your affiliates the ability to view the email addresses of the leads that they refer. When this is checked, your affiliates will be able to go to their affiliate dashboard and see the leads that they have sent to other vendors. If you would like to automate your affiliate payouts instead of having to do it manually one by one, you can do it by adding a Wise account here. This way, you can automatically pay your affiliates who choose to be paid via wire transfer, and you can also add a PayPal account here to automate payouts. The very last setting here is the affiliate proxy links. These are super helpful when you want to create affiliate links to pages that are not hosted in System.io. For example, let's say you already have a website and you want to promote your offers using the pages in that website. You would come here, click on Create, add your label, which is the name for this affiliate proxy link, then the language, the link to your external page, and finally the domain, which should be the same one used in the funnels where you'll have the order form. Then just click Save, and your link will show up here. After the link is created, you can share the link with your affiliates, and then they can add their affiliate IDs if they wanted to promote the page. Keep in mind, if you're using an external website, that your website must have a link or some redirection to a System.io funnel, and the page must contain a subscription form or a payment form. This is important to keep in mind because if your external website does not redirect to System.io, then there's no way for us to track and for affiliates to gather commissions. All right, next on the list is the custom domain settings. And you would come here to set up the custom domain to use across your funnel pages, blog pages, quizzes, everything. So in order to add a custom domain, you would click on Add Domain and then type your domain name with the www before and .com or .whatever you have, and then click on Save. Once you save, you'll be prompted with the DNS configuration for your domain. So the CNAME records you'll have to add in order for your domain to get validated. After adding those, you will have to add a redirection from the domain to the www domain. For example, with this one that we're using here, a redirection must be added from testing.com to www.testing.com. Once the domain gets validated, it's ready to be used across your funnels, blogs, courses, communities, etc. Then we have the Active Campaign settings, and this one is special for those of you who use Active Campaign, which is a separate platform, but you might use it as well and maybe want to integrate it with System.io. Then you would do that here. So what you would do is click here to activate the option, then just copy and paste ActiveCampaign's API URL and API keys here, and then select the right triggers that you want to synchronize. So these are the actions in System.io that will trigger the corresponding action in your ActiveCampaign account. Keep in mind, changes done here on this page only work one way. So if you change something here, it will change on ActiveCampaign. But if you change your settings on ActiveCampaign, they will not translate to System.io. All right, now we have the affiliate commissions payment settings. You would come here if you are an affiliate. That means your plan is promoting other offers, whether it is promoting System.io or another user's offers. You should select the payment method that you prefer for your affiliate commissions. So if you choose PayPal, then you would just type the email address associated with your PayPal account, or you can choose wire transfer and then enter your banking information. Next, we have the notification settings. And here you'll find 6 preferences that you can choose from depending on how many notifications you'd like to get. For example, you can choose to receive an email every time you make a sale as a vendor or as an affiliate. And this is really up to you. But then here at the bottom, you will get to enable or disable receiving invoices every time you make a payment for your subscriptions. Okay, now for the second to last setting tab, we have the workspace members settings. And this is where you would be able to invite others to collaborate with your System.io account. So let's say maybe you hire a virtual assistant or someone is helping you build your pages and funnels. You can invite them here and they will have different login credentials. To invite new members, you would just click on create, add their email address, and they'll receive an email where they must accept the invitation in order to be granted access. As you can see here in the example, I've invited a member, but this symbol indicates that they have not confirmed yet, but once they do, their status will change. And you can also edit their role. So just go to their 3-dot menu and choose between the 2 options, which are assistant or administrator. Administrators have more access to the account overall, and assistants are more limited in what they're able to do. It truly depends on the tasks that you're planning on assigning your members. Finally, our last setting tab is the Change Passwords tab. So it does exactly what the name says. If you need to change your account password, you would just click here and type your new password and confirm.